Greetings, travelers. I'm your dungeon master, Logan Hanley, and with me, my merry band of adventurers. We welcome you all to the Kantor Chronicles on the Fabled 42 network, where we build community through friendship, gaming, and just a wee bit of chaos. You can find us here, you can find us here today, and then you will find us here in December for our season finale, the second Friday of December on twitch.tv/fabled42, and I'll get that exact date for you guys eventually at some point tonight. I gotta look at my calendar. Now, before we dive into the continuation of our adventure, let's go into some announcements. Solo?
Yes, sorry. I'm not supposed to win the giveaway, so that was weird.
Wait, Solo won a giveaway? Good for him.
Now, technology is dumb. Sorry, so real quick, enter raffle if you want to enter that mid-show giveaway, and I will repick a winner because it just broke. All of our stuff that's 3D printed is brought to you by Griffin Co. We are Vorpal powered. Our video and audio displays, player indicators, digital dice, Zoom features on the battle map are all brought to you by Vorpal Board. We have a few exciting things coming up. We have our season debut, episode 1 debut of Vault 41 tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Also at 3 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, I will be DMing Louis Anderson, Carrot Top, and some friends over at Wounded Warrior Project for a special one-shot game. And we have another big event on Friday the 20th. We are doing a kind of donation drive. I'm going to be taking all the producers and managers of the Fable 42 squad through a dungeon crawl for 12 hours from 3:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. next Friday. We are raising money so we can upgrade our streaming equipment. So you can check all that stuff down below in our Ko-Fi menu. But that is all of our announcements.
And Solo, just because I don't have the note for it up, can you also chat about the new sub stuff that we get?
Yes.
In our doodly-doo down below.
Yes. So our Patreon and Twitch subscribers, we're still honoring all the sub stuff. We have changed things a little bit to balance the scales just a bit. You can give luck to any of the players and the DM. Tier 1 gets 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. No more inspiration die. And it is just luck, and we are using 5e rules for luck. So if you choose to re-roll, that is your new roll. That goes for DM or for players. And 1 luck to all the players.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks,
Thank
Cody.
you.
All right. Well, without further ado, let us get into our next installment of the Kantor Chronicles. Welcome back. Where we left off, our party had been held up in Helm's Hold, surrounded by these hybrid running, almost hyper-aggressive zombies, where they met with the remaining heroes of the Meek. After discussing with Zed about the goings-on of Helm's Hold and the lack of resources that they had, the party determined to continue on their way to the Overlook. Now, they had two choices before them: travel by land, as always in Gino's cart, or this time going through a subterranean tunnel that would potentially lead to the upper levels of the Underdark. The party, choosing the second option, decides to brave the subterranean depths and delve deep into the underground unknown. With the help of our newly keen-minded artificer, Art the Goblin, they were able to make their way through the turns and passageways of this tunnel, or of these tunnels, to find an entryway just outside of Morlock itself. Journeying out, they seem to disturb some sort of winged beast. With a quick throw of I believe it was a lighted magic stone,
I think it was my magic stick of candlestick. And
it was your magic
away.
candlestick. That's what it was. Throwing his magic candlestick.
Screaming.
Thank you for the stick. Yeah, it was the stick of screaming.
No, it wasn't that one. It was a different one, but yes.
Oh no, it was his flashlight. He made a flashlight.
Yeah, I made a flashlight.
Throwing his flashlight, they distract the winged beast and make their way to the Overlook itself. Getting to the bridge that spans a small chasm leading there, they encountered a gelatinous cube. After dispatching it rather quickly, even though it swallowed Viago momentarily, the party continues to the door of the Overlook, knocking it in, and begins searching the place, finding a small shrine and courtyard. In the pool of that courtyard, a rot troll. After just fighting and almost losing Viago to this rot troll, the party redoubles their efforts, settles back in, and begins searching for the crown of King Kadok. And that's where we left off. You guys are currently in that courtyard. I believe Nessa was going to the door last time we left off that led into one of the opposite chambers.
You want the cam up?
Sure. Just that way you guys can see where you are positioning wise, and we can go from there.
You're talking about the door by the well?
The door by the well, yep. Correct.
Yeah.
How's Viago looking at this point?
All right. Not at my best, but
just had giving you a once over real quick just to make sure there's no residual side effects from that potion. I mean, it seemed like it worked for you pretty well. I remember you gave me some pretty positive reviews on it.
My God, I forgot all about that potion.
Product testing.
It worked really well. Art, you
It did
get
work
2
really well.
luck points as well.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. I could use a lot of luck.
Nessa, you're peering into that next room?
Yes, very sort of cautiously.
Okay. As you peek in and you hear the of the door swinging open, you get an immediate draft of wind coming from the left-hand side. As you look over, you can see where the wall of this corner of the castle has crumbled and fallen in. You guys noticed it before. It was that portion of the castle that you guys could have climbed up instead of taking the bridge. But you're looking into what seems to be some sort of hall, some sort of feasting hall. There's a big long table in the center with stools and chairs around it, a central, more ornate wooden chair at the head, some tapestries, and a couple mirrors on the walls around, and a small cart that seems to have a couple vials on top, or not vials, but like decanters on top.
Art immediately starts walking towards the cart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Art-
Do I smell anything particularly dead?
Make a... We all right, Solo?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Okay. Are we offline, or are we...
No, we're good. The Vorpal did something to my phone, so we lost the
Oh.
assets. But we're
Alright.
we're still fine.
All right. You guys can see all of our original names as
Gino.
Gino.
Is your cape
Um,
just in a perpetual state of flutter?
that's how he flutters his cape constantly. Yes. So, as you guys enter this room, Nessa, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Alrighty. It's not great. It is a 12.
12. In this room, you do not smell anything of undead or anything of that nature. No.
I'm gonna follow Art towards the cart.
Art toward the cart. All right. As you
Okay,
head toward
sorry.
the cart and you start looking through these decanters, you pull off the lid of one, you sniff it, and you immediately get hit with this at the smell of a very, very peaty hard liquor.
Ooh.
Whiskey.
He dips his finger in and takes a quick little sample of it.
It's this is a form of scotch. It's not quite whiskey. Whiskey is made a little bit differently. I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to that. But
You're
it
talking
is
to the right
it is
person.
yes, it is a scotch. It is a scotch. There aren't. It's not like modern day scotches where there's Islay and all that. But it is very, very peaty. You can tell that it has that earthy taste to it. Very, very high quality. The decanter itself is made of what looks like to be some sort of crystal.
Was there only just the one container? I thought you said there were like multiple vials, or
No, there are two or three different decanters on this.
are they all the same contents, or do they seem different?
No, so going through each individual one, that first one you get scotch. This next one is a little bit wider and kind of peaks into a narrower stem. And as you lift this, yes, Gina.
I just wanted to say, let's not spend too long on this. This isn't the Decanter Chronicles. That's all. That's all I had.
Oh,
All
no.
Hey, Gino, you can have one of my luck points. I'm gonna give that away.
That's why I do it, baby.
There you go.
Everyone's got to be good at something.
The second one you open up, and this one is filled with a red liquid, and you get a nice Merlot wine. And then the third one has a clear substance in it, and you take a quick taste of it, and it kind of does that thing where the steam comes out of your ears and your head gets really flush red. Yeah, this is essentially the closest thing to moonshine that you can get, like high alcoholic content. You'd imagine that somebody in the Overlook had to have been fond of it for it to be in what you'd imagine to be a pretty pricey decanter, because these are all made of the same kind of crystal.
So we're gonna go ahead and pocket that.
All right.
Yeah, that third one seems like it'd make a pretty big bang.
I have some ideas for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! As long as it's not nitroglycerin, I'm all right. As long as it's not nitroglycerin, I'm all
He
right.
lit mayonnaise on fire. Everything is nitroglycerin to Art.
They're not wrong. Would it be possible for me to actually snag all three of them? Because if I can only take one, I'll take the moonshine. But if I can take all three, I'll take all three.
You guys can take all three. How you guys are going to handle them and where you're going to put them, that's up to y'all. Art, give me an investigation check, really quick.
Sure. Investigation. How does a 25 do you for?
25. Good. So the crystal alone, without the contents of the alcohol inside of them, each decanter is worth approximately 75 to 100 gold pieces.
He's like made of crystal.
Yeah, this is like the Waterford crystal kind of equivalent, like high end. Either trade lord or kings would have this.
Unless someone stops him, Art takes all three of them.
I'm all for this idea.
I don't care about you looting dead people. Like,
Yeah.
It's just Gino's cart.
yeah.
It's kind of weird that they're not broken. You'd think when the wall fell, they'd all break.
Well, waste not, want not.
Yeah, I mean, they look expensive. Can I take another gander around the room?
Yeah,
Anything else
I'm
that's
sorry. The one
particularly
thing,
interesting?
the one thing that you guys I forgot to mention is that on the right side there is another door.
Is everybody else in the room right now, or
Man, yeah.
everybody still out in the courtyard?
I'll stroll over to that door.
Yeah, I'll come in now.
Now that the thing that initially attracted his attention has been satiated, is there actually any other person in this room? Or any other
Other than
living thing or unliving thing in this room?
I checked
Other
the ceiling
than-
for oozes.
give me a perception check.
I didn't like that. Oh.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Well, you're just
sounds like
giving
there's
me
an ooze up there.
you're just giving me ideas at this point.
Of course.
I can't take credit for that. It's literally an encounter in Lost Minds of Fondlin. Fondlin? Fendelver. 20.
Not-
That's a 20 perception.
20. Looking at the ceiling, there is not any oozes. There aren't any people. There aren't any undead bodies in this chamber whatsoever.
Didn't say anything about abominations.
You guys are alone in this room.
Stop giving him ideas.
You know what?
You're alone.
Bad. If this
in
is
the
a
room.
natural 20, something's in the room. Oh, that was.
Oh, that was a little.
Dangerously close there.
You want to use your luck point on that one?
Too
No.
close for comfort.
I only have one left.
It's
save it
kind
for-
of your own fault.
Well, yeah, whatever. But no, there's nothing else in this room. The tapestries kind of look old and moth-eaten. The mirrors are kind of glazed over with that layer of dust. But other than that, the room is virtually empty. The table is unset. There's nothing on it. Yeah.
Are there any other items or decorations or anything of interest in this room apart from, you said there was a chair?
Yeah, so the chair is really ornate. It almost looks like a what you'd imagine to be a throne of sorts. The lord of the castle would more likely than not sit there. But it's made of wood. It's pretty big and bulky unless somebody was legit carrying it on their back and had straps. Probably wouldn't be the best for carrying around.
Is there anything particularly interesting about the craftsmanship of this chair?
Roll a history check.
Roll a merchant check.
Yeah, there should be a merchant lore check.
The history. That's a 2.
It's a really fancy chair.
Cool. I'm just gonna open that door. This
All right.
place
Yeah.
is fine.
Okay.
Unless you want to keep doing stuff, I'm done doing anything except opening doors. Is what I'm saying. You got other stuff you want to do, go for it.
I mean, I'm definitely very curious about the craftsmanship of this chair, but if you want to move forward, I mean, I'll trust my business partner.
I don't notice anything about it, and that's on God. Like
That's on, that's
It's on God.
that's a chair.
hey, I didn't
regular
roll.
old chair.
I didn't roll a 2, but it's okay, guys.
Does Art notice anything about the chair?
Go ahead and roll me a history check, Art.
Sure. How does another 25 do you for?
Jesus.
Jake
God damn it. It looks very, very well crafted. The make to you almost seems either halfling or gnomish. You can't quite put your finger on it. But you can see on the bottom it says Whittleton and Sons.
This is a unique Wilton and Sons. That's wonderful. I've
yeah.
heard good things about this about these makers. Quality products.
It's none of it's ethically sourced, so we try not to deal in them.
Oh, well, that's a shame because they really got good products. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
you,
need
know,
to-
you just you don't know who you can trust these days.
that's fair. I mean, if you can't make it yourself, then it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Towards the door, I think.
Toward the door. So as you head into the door, you come into a what you would imagine to be the kitchen and the servants' kitchen of the Overlook. There is a door on the opposite side that seems to lead into one of the 3 remaining towers of the overlook. There are hearths. There are countertops for setting up or meal prep. There are some barrels and some there's barrels and things like that for different foodstuffs and goods. But the one thing that you all notice, especially when you walk in, is that you're hit with the immediate smell of a fire that's been put out. Like, you know that like bonfire smell after the bonfire has been put out, how it kind of lingers? That's what you guys are all immediately kind of hitting you in this room.
Does
Someone
there
made it.
seem to be a fireplace at all in this room?
Yeah, there's multiple hearths where food
right.
prep is taking place, but you go and you look at each of them individually, and there's one back here, there's one that would be right here, and it is, you go and you look at it, and you feel the ash that's there, and it's slightly warm.
Is somebody actually still living and cooking in here? Do these ingredients seem fresh?
No. The majority of the ingredients you do see over on one of the prep tables that there was some kind of like fatty pieces that were moved that looked recent, but other than that, the majority of the foodstuffs in here is either like looking in barrels and stuff is either salted foods that have long since molded or rotted fruit and vegetables.
What does the fire look like? Was it just like a fire to keep warm? Was it a fire to cook something?
Make a survival check for me.
Sure. That's not the right mouse.
While he's doing that, Art is taking handfuls of food, putting them in his pockets.
That's dirty. Stop it.
The
15.
Drop it.
15. Looking, you don't see any utensils or you don't see any implements that would be used for cooking. So you'd assume that this is mostly a fire to keep warm. You do see in the back corner there is covered in that ash what looks to be like a couple bones.
Well, where is it on the map? Because
can
I was trying
Nessa-
to fix the camera window.
It's up in behind like where these barrels would be.
Does that look like it was a person that was burnt? That's not his voice. But that's what I say.
Are you asking us or are you asking Logan?
I'm asking you guys.
I mean, maybe the medic should check it out.
All right, let's look at some bones. Was it some medicine?
And
I'm also
Well,
very
while
familiar
he's-
with burnt things, so maybe I can help you out and give you some assistance on that.
doing that, Nessa is going to cast a level 1 Cure Wounds on Viago, just in case skis. 7 points.
Yeah, and yes, Gino, that would be a medicine check. Go ahead and you can do that with advantage since Art is helping you.
Thank you.
Come on, baby.
Oh!
Give me
There
those
it
bones.
is.
There we go.
20!
I'll tell you whose bones those are.
These bones belong to Archduke I'm sorry.
Franz Ferdinand.
One and only? Yeah. No. Sorry. Princess,
Wait, it's a princess now? Wait.
we're just getting worse and worse. Abraham Lincoln? No.
Princess is in another oven.
These look like little rib bones from either a some sort of pig or maybe a cow of some sort.
And they were an archduke?
No.
All right. So it's not. I know it's animal bones. Don't worry about it. Wait,
Animal
I can't tell pig and cow bones apart.
Oh shit! Yeah, you got a natural 20. These are cow.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it looks like somebody had these for a meal and then threw the remnants into the fire.
They didn't
Alright,
leave any meat on them.
Well, I mean,
The
the
undead
fire
don't eat.
the fire didn't. Yeah, no, don't worry. It looks like somebody just it's some animal bones. So,
Art grabs
Had
a
to do
couple
with
of the
whatever
bones.
which I guess explains they were eating something fresh as opposed to they were eating a fresh animal as opposed to eating any of the stuff in here. So, that answers that question. I was wondering why somebody would be cooking rotten ingredients, but looks
Does
like they
mean that
weren't.
there's someone here.
Yeah, that's my bigger concern. Is there's
Yeah.
someone here?
Sure, but this means that it's
Yeah.
likely somebody who isn't undead.
Yeah.
That's true, because, I mean, well, don't undead also eat living... I guess undead don't eat cooked things.
They certainly
mean-
don't cook.
I mean, what
Yeah.
are they gonna do if they eat something that's tainted? Die?
That's true. It would be a good chance to experiment with new flavors.
Do you think it's one of the forward party that came out here before that ended up surviving?
Maybe.
You're talking
Didn't
about
they-
from Helmshold?
Yeah.
I feel
Didn't
like
they
they
send a
would've just-
couple guys out?
Out here?
Yeah, to your recollection, they did send a small force of about a little less than a dozen
Towards here, right?
towards,
Maybe they made
towards
it.
here. Yeah.
It'd be strange for them to stay in here instead of heading back to Helmshold.
I mean, maybe
Well-
they couldn't get back past that
Cat.
monster.
Yeah.
There was also
Because
that
of
big
the
old gate there.
monsters. I mean,
Also, there was that big like dragon thing.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
all
true.
That thing.
Oh, it still has my... No, they took my light switch.
I think that's the lesser of our problems.
We've got a
I like
wagon
that
full
light
of things.
switch.
You've got a wagon full of things you can make a new one out of.
Is that an offer?
It's less of an offer and more of a resignation.
Hey, I'll take what I can get.
well,
I know.
Let's see.
Well-
Art,
So-
Art, go ahead and give me or actually, Art and Nessa, go ahead and give me a quick perception check as you're looking around the room.
alrighty.
Art is a little distracted at the notion of the fact that Gino is willing to give him things from his cart.
Never said willing.
Dirty 20.
It wasn't a no. That 9.
9. All right, so Art, you don't notice any of this, but Nessa, looking around at the different shelves or prep stations, you notice two different things. On one of the prep stations, you see this long, almost carving knife that's about a little bit bigger, about the size of a Bowie knife, maybe a little bit longer. And then on the opposite side, you see a cleaver. And they both seem to, they don't look, they have that same like iron sheen to them, but they don't look iron.
Huh.
How
Ada?
I found some knives. Did possibly magic knives? Do you think these are, I don't know, useful?
Ooh, they're very shiny.
Never hurts to have it, right?
do I recognize the make of these things?
We're gonna call it a merchant check. It's just gonna be wisdom plus, we'll say wisdom plus proficiency. You're a proficient merchant. I'm gonna make up a new rule because they
All
don't
right.
have a good one.
18.
18. Yeah, so you don't notice necessarily the make or the craft of them, but these are definitely both made of silver.
Yeah, we might want to.
Oh,
Might want.
did they burn me?
You wear gloves for the most part, and you're touching them by the handles,
Okay.
and the handles are leather wrap, so they're not. Yeah, they wouldn't come in
Just
contact.
like I had the wrong reaction.
Okay,
great.
because I was about to say, does Nessa make a reaction when she realizes what they're made of?
Yeah, she's gonna like, I guess just drop them, like literally just open her hands, like, oh, yeah, I can't touch those. Anybody else
Why?
want to carry him? Oh, I guess I told everyone else but you. I'm so sorry, Art, darling. I'm a vampire. I got bit. Yeah, that's why I'm all, drinking blood and stuff, But I can't touch the silver. So do you want to carry him for me, dear?
Oh, sure, no problem. And I actually knew for a while, but I'm glad you were finally able to come out about it.
Oh, that's sweet of you for respecting my privacy. Good friend.
Well, I mean,
Oh, sorry.
anyone who doesn't like garlic aioli clearly has to be a vampire.
That was a tip off. Good to know. It's really good to know.
And for Viago's peace of mind, because I think Viago was going to ask this question, the longer carving knife functions as a silvered short sword, and the cleaver functions as a hand axe mechanically.
Okay, so one ranged. All right, well, Biago, I think for those of us who are less magically inclined, these might be useful to have around.
Yeah.
Very useful.
Which one would you like?
Why don't you just go ahead and pick your favorite thing? I can make do with
So it was a hand axe and a short sword?
A hand axe and a short sword mechanically, yeah. But one of them almost looks like those like really, really long, slim carving knives. I don't know what they're called technically, but the other one is like a giant meat or a small meat cleaver.
I know.
I'm gonna take the
I know
bigger
what you're
one.
talking about. I forget what it's called, but it's sexy either way.
I gotta check something.
So it's just mechanically just a silvered great axe or hand axe.
Hand axe, correct. Yeah, so it does damage to were creatures and things of that nature mechanically, yes.
Okay.
Anything that would normally be immune to things that aren't silvered.
Short swords are finesse, right?
Short swords are finesse, correct.
Okay. A hand axe would rely on strength. Short sword, I could use my dex.
Yep.
So if I had to make a choice, I would want the short sword. However, the hand axe being mostly useful as a ranged thing, I don't know how useful. Well,
You can use it for melee. You don't have to.
you
throw
can.
it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's just like lower damage output than a
Yeah.
different axe, but it's still. I mean, it's silvered. So yeah, so I'll take the. It'll be most useful if I take the short sword, and you
Yeah.
take the axe.
Could I have Art just tie it to my glaive? I'm kidding.
I have rope.
Double blade.
Oh, wait, isn't the?
I mean,
is
you
the
could,
glaive-
you could tie it. I don't. The glaive is technically innately magical. Yes. It's a
Yeah,
mundane
the glaive is
magic.
magical, so you're actually. So you could just throw the hand axe and then use the glaive, but
I could.
yeah.
Well, let's see.
Let's see. I'm gonna roll this one on Vorpal because I've been rolling really high. Just behind the table here. All right.
So, Art's gonna walk up to Viago and he's going to touch his finger to the blade. What's your favorite phrase? Like, what's something that really gets you like pumped up? That makes you just feel really, really good.
Well, I'm tired of standing here. That gets me going.
Think very carefully about those words.
I'm aware. Why not? Well, what are you gonna do to it?
Well, I just figured, maybe I'll, give you something to, inspire you.
Well, let's just go with the shtick then. Hello.
And after touching his fingers to the blade, it gives off a small little spark. And all right, go give it a swing.
I swing it at a crate.
All of a sudden, you hear in your voice, "Hello."
Coming from the.
Is it out loud or is it just in my head?
Oh, it's out loud.
Okay.
It's like the.
I feel like that could have been so much cooler.
It could have been.
You all notice that behind you, through the door that you came in
Somebody's stealth.
into this room, the door. You hear the door kind of boom behind you guys.
The
As
one
if
that
it
we
was
came
closed.
through?
Like it is the one that you guys came through, as if it was opened and then closed.
Gonna
Someone here?
We found our alive friend.
dash and kick the door open.
Yeah.
Okay. You kick the door open, and you look into the room that you guys were formerly in, and you don't see anybody. Unless you'd like to give me a perception check.
I'm gonna do. I'll take a perception check, Alex. Rest in peace.
All right. Oh, man.
Did he die?
Yep. Not that
Yeah.
long ago.
17.
Yeah.
17. You look in that room, and you don't see anything, but behind you, as you kick in the door, like as you push through the door and into the next room behind you, you hear a quick, like, whew.
So it's in the room with us.
Look. Okay. I'm gonna stand in that doorway.
I'm.
Okay.
Did I hear the who or the hue?
If you'd like to
give
give me a
it
perception check when he did that, I'll give you all one.
I will not. Oh, that's +4. That's a 13.
17.
13, yeah, you hear it. 17, yeah, you hear it as well. Thea, no.
Whereabouts would
I
it
got
be?
6.
Yeah, which direction?
You're hearing it from back in that back corner, back in this corner over here.
You got all the way over there?
Well, like he came into the room. Not.
I also
room.
made
Yeah.
4. I also made 4 stealth checks behind the screen, and 2 of them on Vorpal.
So I'm gonna. So I hear it over here.
Yeah, it's more of like the hearth is here. It's coming more of like right next to the hearth.
Oh fuck.
Got it.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
What did you
So-
do?
can I?
What did you do, Art?
What did you
Art,
do,
what
Eddie?
did you do?
So Art was going to try and see if he can pull out his little cylindrical device to shine a light on this situation and see what happened in the corner. Unfortunately, because he rolled a 1, the device explodes in his face,
Oh, darling.
Can you do me a favor?
Which-
Roll D.
which deals 1d4 damage to me.
Also roll me a D20.
Okay. So Art takes 2 fire damage, which actually gets reduced to 1, fortunately, but
What the for? Oh.
do I add anything to this?
No, that was just for me. To set the DC of how loud this concussion was within the room that you guys were in, and how it reverberated to other
Sure, those
rooms.
weren't perception checks.
Oh, my 4 definitely were.
Well, so people know we're here.
They definitely
Well, you know,
do.
I got plenty of uses out of it, but God, I still need to work
So,
out the kinks on this thing.
Are you
Point of
okay?
order. It's like in the basket of apples, or
From-
it's just near it.
It's either near it or in it until you go over there and look. You won't be quite sure.
I want to throw my
Vanessa,
hello
run over
axe at the oranges or the pumpkins.
All right, make an attack roll.
Fuck you.
Rude.
Where's my hand? Oh, it's a +6. That's a 9.
So as you throw it, it embeds itself into there, and you can hear the as it like squishes into whatever soft, decaying mush of produce is in that basket, and you hear a quick like, oh,
Well, he also hears hello.
and you hear in response, hello?
Hi. Hi. Pardon the cleaver flying at your head. We come in peace. Are you? Hello. And I'm gonna keep walking towards the area where I heard the like hi from.
Wait, you're not the other people, are you? You're not one of them. We're new. That's a new voice. That's a woman voice?
It is a woman's voice. My little invisible friend. I don't know if you're little. I'm just assuming. But me and my friends, we're here to help with the undead problem. Do you live here? What's your deal?
I live here. I live in the city. I kind of go back and forth a little. And as you do, you watch as you see these 2 blue hands with these long black claws and maybe go out a little bit farther than or a couple inches out, come up over the edge of the basket and pull itself up. And you see this all blue, light-skinned blue creature, this white matted hair or thick white hair that goes from the top of its head over the shoulder, almost like a bear cloak, like in look and style, or like a fur cloak. The front of him is all kind of this blue color with polka dots of black scattered about. But the other thing you notice is that as he climbs up, you see he comes up and he settles his front arms, and his front 2 arms are rather long. But then about mid-abdomen, he has another set of shorter, about half the size, shorter arms that extend from his abdomen and then his two legs. These big, beady, kind of like ice blue and black eyes, and then an underbite that has these two little things popping up.
Do I know what he is?
Yeah, do I
Roll,
know anything about
roll a nature or history check, or arcana,
or Arcana?
and any one of you guys can roll any one of those three.
Well, they all suck. And I rolled a 12.
Ooh,
A 12?
19.
No.
I'm gonna get my axe back. by the way.
19.
19. That was for Nessa and for. So just for Nessa.
I got a
Nope.
17.
Mm, yes,
17. And Gino, also a nope.
Yeah.
All right. So Thea and Nessa, the two of you would recognize this as a Rentu.
Rentu.
They are they're Fae of sort, but that's about all that you know. They're Fae-esque, but not wholly Fae.
Okay. Well, hi. I'm Nessa. Wait.
Oh, I'm Nilo.
Niwo. Lovely to meet you, Niwo. You said you live in town.
Yeah, I travel between here and the city, depending on what I need.
And there are still survivors in the city. Or we came in. There's to be a very large winged creature hanging out around there. We thought nobody survived.
Oh, I mean, there's people in city. They are all mostly dead.
I see.
Yeah, either dead or dying or undead. There's no living though.
No living. Oh, that's a shame. And you've just sort of been going back and forth. Are there more of you? Do you have as well?
Oh no, just me, just me.
Just you? Oh, all right. I'm sorry for that. Well, like I said, sorry about throwing a knife at you, but we are generally peaceful, and we're actually here to combat the undead. Do you know anything about that? Did they just all of a sudden people started dying and just one day,
Well,
or?
It was a while ago. It was a big event. This place, it's been like this for a long time.
Oh,
How long you
go
been
ahead.
here?
Right.
I 3, 4 years.
Why
3 or
here?
4 years.
I mean, these ruins and lots of knowledge, lots of things hidden away, and not a lot of people come in and find. But Nilo can go in and find them.
Find what? People?
People, books, and shiny stuff.
Oh, you
I,
can find
uh,
shiny
You have
stuff.
happened.
Books, you say?
Yeah. You haven't happened to find a crown or anything amongst all those shiny things.
He can't think for a second. King has crown. King has a crown.
He does. Have you found the king's crown, or?
Well, it's on his head.
He's still
Can I-
around.
Can I listen for movement?
Yes, you may go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah, we've been obscenely loud.
We really have.
We're
16.
in danger.
16. So on the opposite side of the room from where you guys came in, the one that was kind of closer to being off camera, there was another door there. So it was a door that led into the tower, and then a door on the opposite side. And as you're standing there, you believe you hear shuffling from the opposite side of the door, Gino. But it's more of like a heavy foot, like not a heavy footfall, but a footfall and then a drag, and then a footfall and then a drag.
I want to give Viago like a little kind of like head jerk and just kind of like gesture towards the room. suddenly
Towards the door?
towards the door. Yeah, where we're here. Where I'm
And
hearing
it's
the
open or
noise.
closed?
Closed.
It's closed.
I'm probably gonna go up to the door and then try to open it and peek out.
Okay. Are you doing so quietly or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a stealth check as you do then.
I will. Kind of. 16.
16. As you open up the door as quiet as you can be, it does give off a little bit of a, just because of the nature of how old this building is and unmaintained it is, it does give a little, but not enough for you to draw attention. As you peek in, you see shuffling across the room away from the door, you see two skeletons that seem to be dressed in servant's attire, grabbing a crate and trying to drag it back toward a room to your left. Or toward a door to your left. So there's a door to your left. There's another one of those towers with a door going into it, and then there's a door to the right. But looking in the room as well, other than those two skeletons dragging that crate, it looks to be a storeroom. There are boxes and crates kind of stacked up in all the different nooks and crannies of this room. Also, 2 luck points for Nessa.
Thanks awfully.
Did we have a visual on these skeleton creatures?
I would have closed the
that just-
door and then whispered back
Okay.
to my friends.
Okay.
So you're.
So I don't.
Are you here by yourself or just
Oh, yeah, it's just me. Just Neela.
Oh, it's
Just
got me
like-
awful lonely around here, huh?
No. Dead's sometimes good company. They don't bother Nilo, and Nilo don't bother them. But sometimes Nilo watches them and follows them around and watches them do interesting things.
Have you had a chance to talk with the king?
No.
That's fair.
Do you know
does
where
the
we could find the king?
King usually in one of 2 places, either upstairs in the throne room or down in crypts.
And he like all the other people in town? Or is he sort of like other people, meaning super dead?
Oh, King is dead. Yes.
King's dead. Alright, well, at least he still got his crown.
That's a shame. I was really looking forward to trying out my new contraption, but I don't think that's going to work in this scenario.
where's the closest staircase? Up or down? It doesn't particularly matter.
He points to the tower door. That one go up and down.
All right. Well,
That one go up to King's chambers and throne room, and also go down to small cave.
does it seem safe in there, Viago?
In where? What I just looked at?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Did
just a
they
couple
seem hostile?
skeletons. Well, they're dragging something. Why are skeletons dragging something?
Sort of seems like they had orders. But from the
Well,
king? I don't
I
know.
could distract
Did-
him.
Nilo, you gotta. If you want to go somewhere, get some safety before we try to do this. I don't want you to get hurt. You're just
Oh,
around
Nilo, fine.
Okay.
Nilo, and
Well-
he kind of walks over, and you watch as he climbs up onto one of these prepping tables, and then reaches behind it, and he pulls out a small staff.
You
I could,
are.
um,
Okay.
I could.
Pack and heat. I like you a lot, Nilo.
I could throw this nice shiny axe that Art bestowed a interesting message to on the other side of the room, which would then activate and say hello.
Well, that could be an idea. I may have another option as well, if we're just looking for a distraction.
Are you going to use a duck?
Well, that is a great idea, and I like where our head's at, but this one might be a little bit more practical for this situation. And he's going to pull out his pack pots, pans. Here we go. And pulls out a figurine that's, maybe about like a foot tall, something like that. It looks like a miniature goblin, but it has like, the full on, like, the little
Oh
symbols
my
and stuff like
gosh.
that on it.
Yep.
So, I mean, this could be a possibility. It has a little wind up on the back of it.
Dear God.
I know I'm not the first person to like want to fight things, but might it be helpful just to follow them, see where they're going, since there's one of two places they could be going?
If they're gonna ignore us and just move something, like that'd be nice. Yeah, we could follow them.
Ideal.
I mean, I wasn't just planning on like saying like following them, but like I don't know, sneaking behind them.
Either way, I think the best thing that we could do is going down into a crypt sounds like we have the potential to end up fighting a lot more than just the king if that's where he happens to be. If we can find him alone in the throne room, though, that might be a bit easier.
And maybe you could set up some sort of trap, Art, so that when he sits on his throne, it blows up in his face. I don't know if you can do that, but not that I want to do that. I'm just saying it's like an option.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you've got
No,
some great
Pat.
ideas in that head. I love it.
It was just an
Welcome to
idea.
the party.
Actually, now that you mention it, Vialka, do you still have that bear trap?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, maybe we might be able to jerry-rig something on top of that, so that when he sits on it, it can activate, and it might make a fun sound, like maybe like I don't know, and then it would have an explosion, and
Like a fart.
ooh, I like where your head's at. Yes, that's great. Let's see, what would we call it?
I had to get involved in at least one of these. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to. It's about time.
Let's see. We could call it the spicy trapomatic exploder. I like it. Yes.
Spicy static exploder.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh,
sounds like a Mexican
Brilliant.
special on Taco Tuesday. Like,
right?
was
Isn't that even better?
I was thinking Tuesday night, and I don't know why, and you just sealed the deal right there.
Oh.
Amazing.
Thea, thank you. You've really inspired me. You've just come up with the best ideas.
That's what I was trying to do. Okay. So what is the plan?
Was that not the plan?
Then let's sure. I love it. Sounds like it's definitely gonna work out.
Well, I'm gonna need at least an hour to be able to make that happen. So I'm gonna need some time.
Oh.
Well,
So I mean, if we want to hang tight here, and we want to just rest up, get that energy back, and I mean, I know Viaga's fine because that potion did him wonders. But if everyone else wants to sit down for a second, I could just work on this, and I'll be fine.
do we want to see if he is upstairs in the throne room before you waste time with the trap?
Nilo go find King if you want.
That would
Oh,
actually be
trust him.
incredibly
Yeah.
helpful.
I know all my way around castle.
Do I trust him?
Upstairs,
Nilo?
downstairs. Make an insight check.
All of us?
Who I would
Well,
say
18.
yeah, you trust him to go up there and find the king.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, and he puts the staff that he had, or like little stick that he had, back behind. And he goes, "No touch! Don't touch it! It's mine!
Of course.
It's mine!" And he kind of scampers up and he opens as quickly as you guys saw that door close. When he initially entered the room, you watch as he just kind of slips in through the door, and you can hear the tiny scraping of claws. Not a whole lot, but he kind of walks very like caveman-esque. Right, like gorilla, like front paws on like his longer arms, using that for movement, where his lower arms are he's like kind of playing with things and like messing with stuff like on his belt. And he kind of scampers away and is out of sight.
Well, that's gonna be great. I guess we're just gonna sit around in the kitchen kind of thing.
Okay. Short rest.
All right.
Is that the-
It's gonna take him an hour.
Yeah. If you guys want to do anything else, if some of you want to attempt to tail these these two skeletons or see what these two skeletons are about or anything else while Art is making that. You guys do have an hour.
Keep like periodically just kind of checking through the door to see if I can piece together exactly what they're moving and why.
Okay. Yeah. You don't get a make an insight check.
$18.
18. So you can't really identify what's in these crates or these boxes that are moving, but about throughout the course of the hour, it happens it happens 3 times. You'd imagine they're coming up for the 4th time, but it looks like they are dragging these crates away, and these crates either are heavy enough for them to be drugged, not picked up off the ground. So they're being dragged away out through that door to the left. And then they're about 15 minutes later, they come back carrying that crate. So it must be light enough for them to carry it back and then set it down in a separate pile, go and grab another crate and move it back. They do it about 3 times before that. Can we take a minute, Eddie?
Well, I was about to ask what was going on.
No, but so they do that about 3 times before, and you'd imagine coming back for a 4th trip by the time that hour finishes up. So it's about every 15, 20 minutes or so they come back.
Okay. Curious.
Could I look, kind of go back to that room that we were just previously in with the chair, the woodwork chair, and see if there's any, I don't have that correct name written down for the Lawbringer, any sort of, any other, because there was that shrine. Is there any other stuff around that has the symbol or anything along those lines?
Go ahead and make a investigation check.
Okay.
Oh, man, I should have had this book prepped.
18. Minus 1? No, that sucks. 18.
18. You would. What is his holy symbol? Where's that? So you would notice that on the head, on the top of where the headrest would be, behind it, it's shaped like his symbol that you'd recognize is like a scale. And then where the scale is, it's even, and then it's an axe head on either side. It looks like that.
I don't know why I can zoom in.
Thank you, Matthew Mercer.
Okay.
But it's obviously not colored like that. It's
Sure.
engraved into the wood.
And that was on the chair, or was just
Yeah, that was detailed and carved into the woodwork of the chair.
Okay, and that's all that I see in regards to anything for religious.
Yeah, the tapestries aren't anything special. I mean, they were, you'd imagine, at one point special, but you don't see any religious iconography on it. They're more like traditional art pieces where they, you have different settings and things like that, but they're not, mostly moth-eaten by now.
And is there any dust on the chair?
On the chair, yeah, the chair is pretty heavily coated. On the seat, it does appear to be less so, but looking around at the other seats, just because of the nature of how the chairs are pushed in, they all seem pretty similar in that nature.
Cool. That was my only question.
Okay. Give me one more perception check as you're getting ready to leave that room and go back in.
Is there a news on the ceiling now?
15.
No, I'm kidding. No,
Okay.
yes, can't wait. Giant ooze falls right now. You notice flying back toward across the city, because you can see it. It's this giant open area on the back end of the front end of this room, looking over the hillside and then over Morlock itself. You can see the cityscape before you over the walls from here. Plenty of houses destroyed and burnt down, ruins pretty much throughout. The gates on the back end that would lead up toward Morlock are completely destroyed. The gatehouse torn down, very similar to think Game of Thrones, the last episode or the second to last episode, where Drogon just completely implodes the gates open for him.
You're
And
not missing much. Don't worry about it.
then you also see flying over the rooftops that same winged creature, kind of now being not shadowed, but like you can see the shadow of it from the moonlight as it's flying kind of very low over the city.
Keep that in my mind. Great. Cool. Love it.
Awesome. You head back to everybody else. Anybody else doing anything during this break? Oh, you guys can also heal if you need to heal. You guys are taking a short rest.
There's no reason not to use a hit die. That'll do. All right.
All right. While you guys are all doing this, Art, what did you make?
So I'm assuming that Viago gave Art the bear trap, yes?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Against my better judgment.
All right, so Art's been tinkering away. He has his tools out. He's had his alchemist set out, and he's just been taking the bear trap apart piece by piece, like making sure that he maintains the spring mechanism, but the actual closing contraption part, he's sort of modified somewhat so that the spring loading contraption, instead of just being a regular closing device, is actually instead more of a puncture device that would be capable of inserting something. So, and on top of that is the very familiar looking duck-shaped object. However, it has been rounded so that it still looks somewhat like a duck, but it's almost like a duck in ball form. So, and it's attached to the end of the contraption and has what looks to be like the remains of about half of a candlestick, so that it almost looks like it's a well, it looks like it would be possibly used to be able to insert something. And it also is rather it looks like it's gotten rather shiny on the outside of it because it has been splattered with bits of the moonshine liquid, or moonshine-ish liquid that we thought it was. Just kind of like, hanging around on the outside of the device. All right, so I need access to the throne now for this next step. Let's see, because we're going to get him to sit there, right?
Hopefully, I guess.
Is he not in the throne right now?
If this very specific plan requires him to sit on the throne, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is, did the other guy confirm that he's not up there right now?
He hasn't.
He hasn't come back yet.
Wait, because the chair in the other room is the throne, right?
No.
Well, that's not the throne.
He's talking about
It's
upstairs.
a throne-like chair you'd imagine during banquets or feasts. That would be where the king would have sat.
Okay, well that might change things slightly. Okay. So we need to get him off of the chair so that he can sit in the chair. Because I might need at least a minute with the chair before this would actually work.
Do we want to take the time to try to get them out of the room and then get them back in the room, or do we want to just...
Can you do that?
I'm assuming that this isn't going to be an incredibly fast-moving person. That would take quite a bit of time, I'd imagine, to do it that way.
I mean, I literally just need 60 seconds. If you can get me 60 seconds, I can make it happen.
We would then have to...
Put him back in the
Is
chair.
there another... So we'd have to find... Man, we'd have to find a way to get you into the room without him noticing you, and then get him to stand up and leave, and then not notice you while you set that up.
How long does it take to set up?
I just need a minute.
I mean, maybe he's like any other king. We can just request an audience with him. I don't know.
He is dead.
Well, sure. There were people who were dead that were just walking. I don't know about y'all, but Maybe he's a walking dead one.
I just don't know if there's talking dead ones.
Nero. Is that his name? Nero?
Nilo, N-I-L-O.
Nilo?
N-I-L-O.
Excellent.
Nilo.
All right, excellent. Nilo and your friend Otis. Is there? So you got your eye on the king. Does he seem to have the wherewithal for conversation at this point, or
Nilo hasn't came back
He's
yet.
not come back.
Nilo hasn't come back yet?
Nilo has not.
Then how do
come
we know
back
he's sitting on the?
We
I
don't
thought we
know.
got confirmation he was sitting on the throne.
No, you have not.
Never
gotten
mind then.
confirmation.
Yeah, that's
no.
what I was asking. I didn't think he came back, but I was dealing with
Not bad.
tech stuff.
I'm
Everybody,
just waiting then.
everybody make a perception check.
I hope he's okay.
Do we hear the sounds of a small man getting
Nope.
destroyed?
Oh,
That's a 15.
Dirty 20.
19.
6.
6. All right. So, Nessa, Viago, and Gino. It takes you guys a minute, but you realize, looking around the room, that you see some soot fall from that hearth, and then a second later, kind of with as the ash gets dispersed, you see Nilo kind of drop down from the hearth, or down into the hearth.
Is Nilo alive?
Is Nilo alive? With your perception check, you watch as he falls, and he kind of falls on his back, and his smaller arms are kind of go,
All right, he's alive.
and he pops up,
All right.
and he walks over to where his staff is, and he climbs up and grabs it, and is holding it in one hand. King is enthroned, but King going down to crypt in mourning.
How far
Okay.
away is the morning?
You guys got there. You guys embarked right before midnight because you guys slept, went to bed, took that long rest really, really early in the afternoon. So you embarked right before midnight. Would have gotten there probably like 4 or 5 in the morning. So you guys probably at the most have about a half hour or so at this point until sunrise.
Okay. So,
Which
you-
way does he go when he goes downstairs?
He comes into this tower and goes down to this level and then down one more.
so you want to put a trap on the stairs?
On the crypt or the stairs?
Stairs
I'm
might
afraid
be a
of
good
I'm
idea.
afraid of doing the fight in the crypt.
We could set a
a
trap
lot of
in
un-
the stairwell then.
Yes.
It's not a bad.
I mean, we could do that. It's not quite going to have the same effect, but I mean, if it gets the job done, I guess.
Nilo, will it not be until like the next evening that he goes back up to the throne room?
Every few days he goes down there for a full day. Yes. Sometimes he comes up, but I can ask him and follow him.
So if we want him to sit on the throne without us messing with things, we would have to wait a full day.
what does he do on the throne? Just sit there?
Sits there. Sometimes gives orders to the really white people, pale people.
Hang on. This is an undead creature that has a crown. Bunch of undead things running around this place, yes? We're not going to have a conversation with him, right?
If he gives orders, it seems like this actually is somebody we can talk to. Also, I'm curious, do you happen to know what these skeletons are setting up in the next room over? Seems like they're unloading a lot of something.
I know there's crates. Sometimes some of them have weapons. Sometimes some of them have armor. Sometimes some of them have body parts from dead people that they find. It all comes from the city.
Well, they all sound very reassuring.
Are they? Sounds like they're harvesting things.
So, are you really trying to ask this king nicely for his crown?
No, I'm saying if he has, clearly he's not mindless, which means that the approach that we take could involve manipulation of some kind. He's not simply just primally going off of the urge to eat things.
It also means that he could be like Thea, yes? Casting spells.
Oh yeah, that part. I was very confused about.
I was a little offended at first there. I mean, but he could be like me, and maybe he listens to logic. I mean, I doubt it. You're probably right. I know.
Well,
I'm
he
aware.
probably isn't. Well, he probably isn't able to cover himself in radiant energy. That would.
Well, we
most
have
likely
30
destroy
minutes
him.
before we have him isolated in a tunnel stairway, is what I am saying, with no friends
What if we just?
around.
Well, you know, now that you mention it, with a few modifications, I might be able to make a few adjustments on this thing so that it could still work in the stairwell. It won't have the same majesty, but I mean, it'll get the job done.
If we want to do the throne, we've got to wait a day. Do we want to wait a day?
No, fair point. I am excited to see this thing in action. And he's going to start making his minor adjustments to the contraption.
It sounds to me, if there are skeletons unloading weapons, armor, and body parts, and the king is a sentient undead being, it sounds like the king is doing all of this. It sounds like he's the one who's ordering all of it.
Yes, it
I
means
don't
he's
think
got
we can talk to him. I think we just have to take him out, honestly.
Do any of you
yes,
have
but-
any way to silence the creature?
Put the trap in the
I mean-
stairwell. That's what I think.
We could like gag him or something. That's all I got.
We could kill him. So he's got an army, more or less. So we definitely don't let him get to the crypt. We don't take the fight down there. My primary concern is whether or not we should check out what he's got brewing in the other room. Get some sort of sense. If we take the fight in the throne room, even if we do manage to take him out, it could mean that if he has the ability to communicate with them in any telepathic sense, or if we make too much noise, it's very possible that getting out of here becomes extremely difficult. So I vote that we figure out what's in that room before we make our move.
We don't have much time.
Yeah. Either way, I think we should take him out before he gets to the crypt.
All right, here we go. All right, I still need a minute to finish the setup, but it's ready to go if we want to put it there.
Wait, what's the kid's name? The invisible guy's name?
Nilo.
Nilo. What kind of creature is this king?
I don't.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Well, that's
Yeah,
really
exactly.
fucking good.
Hey, you do have a luck die.
This is why they gave it to me.
Yeah.
Do I want to be a dick?
It's kind of cheating for us to just.
It was almost a 1. All right. With the intelligence that he has and the arcana that he has, that'll still be a 16, which will be enough for him to tell you. Big, like floating ball.
Oh, is he a
Round on
beholder? Sorry, that's out of character. Sorry. Unless
Big.
Gino would know about them.
Make a nature or a history check.
Oh,
And you don't have any
you're
more
on a
luck
roll with
die.
20
And I don't-
tonight.
and I don't have any more. You would know that he is some sort of beholder. Yes.
Excellent.
Oh no.
Well,
Means I'm gonna get right up in his eye. Let's see.
Does
So I guess
does Gino
Sure.
describe this out loud?
Yeah. So, all right.
Does Art know what a beholder is?
What I
Probably
that's-
not.
Viago.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please go ahead.
All right. Well, so we are dealing with something that is capable of magic. I was really hoping it would just be the reanimated corpse of the king, but Beholder's going to have a few more tricks up his sleeve. I would, depending on how strong this Beholder is, we may want to avoid making direct eye contact with it if possible. However,
Does Iago know?
I would say that you've heard stories. You've never experienced one though, so
Got
you
it.
wouldn't necessarily know what fact versus folklore would be for them.
Got it.
either
Well-
way, I can guarantee this isn't going to be a very pleasant creature to deal with. If we do try to use any sorts of manipulation or discussion, the best bet would be to play into its ego.
I think we really have to trap it in the stairwell.
So
He'll have limited
How does that-
resources.
It's
You all
better.
can hit it
It's better to fight him one-on-one than to allow him to have reinforcements.
I'm just curious. Do they have to like actually step into the thing? Because it.
that was going to be my question: is
Oh,
if
'cause it
Art knows
floats.
anything about a beholder.
Oh,
That's the thing. It doesn't have legs.
I learned that in Pokemon.
So does Art know what a beholder is?
I would say, given where you're at and where your clan mined, again, similar to Viago, you've heard stories, but you can't discern fact from fiction. I think you would know there is enough of stories to know that they float.
Got it. So that makes a flaw in my perfect execution on this contraption, because if they don't step on the ground, this isn't going to work.
How much time has passed, by the way?
At this point, through your conversation and discussing, about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And
We
the
have
sun
5
is-
minutes.
The sun is now starting to kind
We
of
have
come up.
5
and-
minutes.
I mean, I still have this, and he holds up the little figurine.
Is there
Trap
anywhere in
alone.
in the tower to hide?
Art.
Are you looking in the stairwell?
Yeah.
The stairwell is kind of like a corkscrew around the center of the room, not the outside of the room like a standard tower would be. So there is room, kind of like if you hit that sweet spot right in the center where that column is, and just kind of rotate with this thing as it's coming down.
My suggestion is I go in there. I hide. I allow the creature to come down within melee. And I engage it. And you all can do what you all do outside of the room, perhaps.
If we use
Art?
this as a distraction, you might be able to get the jump on it.
Can you make me
Yeah.
invisible?
I reach over
I'll have
and
to
I
research that one.
It's invisibility, a level 1 spell. It's not.
Sorry,
cast
yeah.
guidance on Viago.
There we go.
That's D4.
Yes.
To attack rolls and
and-
saves.
Ability
Uh,
checks.
Ability checks.
Yeah, it's your next ability check, basically.
And technically, initiative is an ability check. So if you were to
Hey,
roll initiative before, you could add the D4.
Hey, Art. If you've got anything that really just stings when you get it in your eyes, it's probably a good idea to bring that out here.
Well, I didn't end up using all of this stuff, and he pulls out the decanter of moonshine.
I've never actually gotten alcohol. It's probably not pleasant. Sure.
I mean, well, actually, ooh. In the minimal knowledge that I have, that Art has of beholders, do I know anything about if they are susceptible to poison?
Probably not. No.
Probably they are not.
As
Or
in
probably I would not know.
probably you would not know. Yeah,
Got it.
more likely than not, you wouldn't have an idea about that.
Does anyone know? Does anyone have any knowledge of these things? Do they are they susceptible to poison? Do they have
At the-
orifices?
At this time, you do notice that Nilo is shifting, and he's hopping. He hops from. He thinks he's being fucking sly, but he's not because of my roll. but he hops from one of the tables as you're all talking to another one of those tables and is heading toward the door that went into the room with the two skeletons dragging the crates.
All right.
Oi, Nilo. Where,
Yeah.
where you heading off to, friend?
Away from people who want to fight the king.
If I were you, I would try to get to the other side of the. I would try to get to the other side of the castle.
As quickly as possible.
Yeah, he has some shiny stuff in the throne room, so I'm gonna go up there and try to.
Give it 10 minutes. You can take whatever you want from there. I just don't want you to get caught in the crossfire.
It's okay. I'll
Not
come
the
back to
crown.
pick y'all clean too when you. I mean, never mind.
I'm gonna go in the tower and try to hide, and position myself where I can see the opening and I can carefully mimic.
There's still skeletons there, yeah?
Not in the tower, but in the other room where where Nilo's walking into. Yeah, two skeletons just got done moving.
Are we taking the fight in that room, or are we going up the stairs into the throne room?
No. So the room that you guys are in has a tower, and that's the tower that Nilo ran up, and the tower that he said the king comes down.
The skeletons moving stuff was a completely different room than where
Was
the
the
stairs
room
were.
on? Yep. Yeah. Think of it the stair room and the stair room and the storeroom and the kitchen are on the same level. So the storeroom is, I'm using my arrow like you guys can see it, is down this way. The tower is here, and then there's
Cool.
another tower symmetrical to it on the other side.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought Art, if you want to still get some use out of the trap, maybe you can put it in the way that the reinforcements would end up taking if they came from over there.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Yeah, thanks. I'm full of them. All right. We don't got a lot of time.
We should hide.
So which doorway is that he was suggesting?
If the skeletons are in the one to the south, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a door. The skeletons were in this room over here.
Cool.
Off camera. All right.
Good.
Viago, go ahead and give me a stealth check, please.
19 on the roll, 23.
23. So, you hunker down underneath these stairs as best you can. You have Emberfang's tooth kind of clutched a little bit lower so it's not peeking up over the stairs.
Be small, be small,
you-
be small.
And you guys wait. Art has a potion for that. You could, I mean,
Used to.
and so you're hunkered down, waiting. You guys are all kind of waiting to hear that kind of go-ahead signal from Viago. A moment goes by, another. Viago, you hear the door open, thump, with a bang against, not a loud bang, but just it opens up all the way and hits the wall behind it. And then you start to at least notice something starting to make its way, the shadow from the light coming in from dawn, starting to make its way down the stairs.
Do I see what it is?
You do. Actually, give me a perception check.
That room is real small.
While that's happening, can we say that Art went to
19.
set his trap at the other entrance?
Yep, trap is set.
Thank
19. You notice looking up at it that you can see the bottom of what looks to be this giant, almost amorphous blob. You can't see the top half of it, but what you notice is that a lot of what skin there is almost like rotting and decaying flesh.
Okay.
As it's
Essentially,
slowly making its way
right
down.
when it gets as close to where I think it could be, I'm going to try to hit it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll with advantage.
Could, just because of the mechanics of D&D, could I bonus action rage knowing that I'm going to go into initiative and it's only going to last a minute in this attack round, or do I have to wait till the official attack round?
I would give it to you, but going into rage would alert the creature of your presence, so it would just be a straight roll instead of advantage.
Oh, that's fair. I'll take the advantage. I can't quietly rage. That's a 21.
Quiet fuming.
Natural 20.
Hey!
20! There's been a lot of 20s tonight.
Go ahead
Yes.
and roll your damage.
Remind me
die.
how you do your damage.
Double die.
Double die.
So it'd be 2d10 and 2d4 plus your strength.
That's
This is completely out of character, but I just realized what's been throwing me for a loop this entire night. Logan, you trimmed your beard.
I did. Thank you. I'm glad thank you for joining that party.
It's like it's been racking my brain. It's like something's different. I can't put my finger on it.
25 points
Yeah,
of
I don't-
damage.
I don't have anything to stroke anymore. Nervously stroke. I'm like finding little tiny long hairs on the bottom of my chin to pull at. I'm gonna have a bald spot by the end of this. So as you stab up, something's not right.
Of course not.
Normally this would be flesh. Like you'd stab in and you thought like again like you're like, oh yeah, I got the advantage, like this is awesome, I'm gonna do this. And you stab up and the image disperses.
Is there anything there in this place?
Got
You do
Yeah.
hear
faded.
you hear a silent clink, 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 clink.
Do you have the crown or a grenade?
Silence.
Yep, I wouldn't know what to do. Nothing else happens.
Nothing else happens. It's dead silent. Everybody's like looking through this door as you just step. The rest of it, you guys did notice that this just disappears.
Did I see?
I'm gonna look at
you see
them
a
and be
drop?
like, "He knows we're here," and I'm gonna run up the stairs.
All right.
Ooh.
All right, let's go.
Sorry,
You
guys.
run up the stairs.
I looked to see what fell.
You get to the top of the stairs.
Did we get a chance to see what fell at all?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, you guys that were not Viago rushing up the stairs see the crown or a crown laying on the ground.
I grab it.
Diago, but
I didn't see it.
We have to go after him.
Of course
Yep.
we do.
I'm
Go.
up those.
Up we
I'm up
go.
those stairs.
So you
Art's definitely running up there too.
Go.
run up the stairs. The door is already open at the top of the stairs. You're in now what looks to be again the corner wall over on this end of the chamber back that would have been similar or above the level above the feasting room looks to be a bed chamber. Portions of the wall completely destroyed and torn down. The room barely furnished now with the remnants of like half a bed and some other cabinetry and things like that. Viago, a few moments ahead of your friends, you rush into the throne room to find it empty.
There's nothing. There's no signs of anyone who that thing was.
Give me a perception check, or actually, give me a survival check.
18 plus 4, 22.
22. Looking around the room and looking for any signs of this, you don't see any signs of like beholders or eye stalks or anything like that you'd be aware of. You do see behind this central throne made of what looks to be copper. You do see piles of dead bodies, skeletal bodies, as well as sitting on top of gold coins and silver coins and a bunch of other stuff. As you are in this chamber on the opposite side, you see the door open and Nilo's head start to peek in.
Nilo, you suck.
And then sees you and makes eye contact with you and shuts the door. But other than that, you do not see any sort of indication of what would have caused that apparition to fade like that.
Diago!
I've got the crown.
Spot check the ceiling.
Perception check, Gino.
Luck point. All right, 18.
There,
Not dropping a news on me today.
there are no oozes on the ceiling.
All right, worth it.
I'm just waiting for you to roll a perception roll now.
Bianca, we have the crown.
Huh.
Can I check that crown real quick? Does this crown seem legit?
Yeah.
Give me
Sorry.
give me a merchant check, a mercantile check.
17.
17. Looks pretty good quality. It's made of really nice and finely crafted copper. It's inlaid with rubies and emeralds around the outside.
Does it actually have like markings that would imply that it belonged to the ruler of this, like that it would belong to this king, and it's not just some like fun
Random.
crown?
Looking it over, it's a really well crafted crown, but not one that would sit on the head of a king.
I'm
I
afraid
immediately don't trust Nilo anymore.
I'm afraid that's a decoy crown. I don't think this is the king's. Still worth a lot though, so I mean, hold on to it. But
Yeah,
I'm
it's
afraid
worth
that's not one we
it's worth a small fortune.
I'm gonna go to that other door where
Aren't you
Nilo
on it?
was.
Oh, well, I mean, if you're offering, yeah, I'll take it.
don't break that down. You can retire with that.
Hey, Art, there's coins on the ground. Is there anything
Art
in that
immediately
other
looks like
room?
he's having an identity crisis.
Okay. All right, you head to the other door, Viago, pull it open. You don't see Nilo immediately in that area, but as you step into the hall, you do see him on all fours kind of running down the hallway.
I am going to drink that little blue man dry. Let's go get him.
I mean, he might have made an honest mistake, y'all. We
I
did.
think so. That sounds like a effort. There's a decoy crown. We're going to go get the blue thing. I'm angry now.
As you chase him down, we're going to go into a competing skill check here really quick between Nessa and Viago against this little blue bugger. Nessa and
Really?
Viago, go ahead and give me athletics or acrobatics checks as you sprint down the hallway.
Oh,
Do I still get the D4?
I'm not
I
good
haven't
at
used that yet.
You haven't used the D4 yet, so you can use the D4 here.
Point of order. Which direction are they running?
There's a door on this end of the
Okay,
room,
never mind.
and they went
then.
out that door and then back toward where the front of the building would be.
Got it,
I'm gonna
never
use
mind
my
then.
luck die. I'm gonna use
I'm
my
not
luck
there
die
yet.
and purple
I'm
for
not
that
there
one.
It's hard to build a
No, you're
second
fine,
floor,
dude.
guys.
We don't need to we could RP this. We don't need
Oh, okay.
to battle map it. Yeah, you're good.
Well, I made it.
I'm sorry. I should have. If you wanna put it up. If you want, you know what, Solo, you do you. Viator,
built a
thank you.
giant castle, it doesn't
Viator, I did get the luck. Thank you. That's the one I just used. Yeah.
What kind of check was it? Acrobatics?
Acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics for sure. That is a 26.
26
17.
and 17, and I
17.
rolled a 11 and a 10, so I have to take the 10 because I used my luck, which is going to be a acrobatics 15. So as he's trying to get to the door, he leaps and then he trips and he stumbles and he gets to the door in time. And he's starting to get it open, but Viago, your green fucking Hulk hand, just smashes against the wall, holding the door in place as he's like both arms, like legs now, are trying to open it, and he like looks up and he's like, hi there, and his two little arms are like.
He's adorable. I'm so angry at him, but he's adorable. Well, you're gonna have to do some explaining, my little friend. What was that about?
Wait, what do you mean? You guys killed him in the stairway pretty quick.
We decidedly did not. And he didn't give us the right crown, and you know it.
How big is this creature, by the way?
He's like kobold size. He's like freaking tiny. He's like, yeah,
And
he goes
doesn't
up to
get
like.
nimble escape.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we talking art tiny or are we talking like
Yeah,
smaller
like-
than art tiny?
He's
You're
small.
not gonna
Kobolds are small. Kobolds were as small, if not smaller, than Art.
Hmm.
He goes up to about like maybe a little bit higher than the hip. It's like the difference between Gimli and the Hobbits in Lord of the Rings.
Higher than the hip. Is that more than 3 feet?
It
How
depends
tall
on
is-
how tall you are.
Yeah, how tall is Art?
Yeah.
How tall is Art?
Art is 3 feet tall. Oh, sorry, 3'6". Excuse me, they're 6 inches.
3'6".
Ah.
Probably
Six inches is actually a lot for art. So
Yeah.
Nilo is probably close to like 2 3/4 feet.
So I can fit him in my shoe. Got it.
Probably, yeah.
Are we in the room when this is happening?
Yeah, you guys, if you guys are you guys can chase after him and catch up, no problem at all. This was just to see whether or not he was able to escape the wrath of Nessa and Viago.
Y'all, I don't mean to be like that person, but maybe he also made a mistake before you start killing him.
No one's killing him.
I'm not gonna.
I'm sorry,
Ow.
someone just said I'm gonna drain his blue blood, so just saying it, don't do it.
Okay, now.
That's fair. That's fair. That wasn't me though. That was her.
Alright, fine. Pointing fingers before Nessa kills him.
Yeah, later. At least until after I find out exactly what has happened. Because literally everything you've told us, my little blue friend, has not come true. And it seems like you took your hour to go up the tower so that you could make a whole illusion beholder, if you will, and then throw a crown at us that ain't the crown for. So it seems like somebody knows more than they're telling, doesn't it? Namely, someone with 4 arms named Nilo.
To be fair, I came up here, checked to see if King was in seat. He was in seat. So I went back down to... He was in seat. So I went back down to double check the crypt, because sometimes he's tricky and will put himself on seat, but also be in crypt. So I went down and checked crypt, and he was not in crypt. Then I came back up here and double checked that he was in seat, and that giant floaty ball was sitting above his seat, wearing the crown. Then, and he is going to really quickly move his smaller hands, and he's going to misty step and vanish and go 30 feet away behind Gino and Thea. Then I came back down and sat on the counter while you guys argued about what you wanted to do.
And
Oh, wait, no, I
then-
didn't. Then I went into the bedroom and laid on the bed, and then I went down the chimney.
Well, thank
Can I
you.
insight check? Can I insight check that? I no
Yeah.
longer trust Nilo.
Go for it.
Did you say he was in 2 places at once? That's mathematically impossible.
Oh.
he could be duplicate. He could. What class is this beholder?
All of them. I took
Well.
1 point in every class. I mean, what?
Oh, so he has duplicate.
Oh my god.
Wait, is that a thing? Because
No,
if
I
it
don't
is,
think
I need to
beholders
research it
can-
right now.
No, beholders cannot have duplicate.
He's a trick. He took 3 levels in trickster cleric.
Yeah, this beholder's a trickster.
No, Nessa, how'd you do on your insight check?
Because I swear, the number of times I
12.
wanted to be in 2 places at once.
12?
If this is possible.
You're believing him. He's being honest.
All right, I won't drink him.
Can I check the throne? Yes, cat. What?
She's
Does
like,
your
check the
cat-
throne.
Does your cat want to check the throne too?
What? Yeah, can I check the throne? I want to.
Yeah.
Does this throne look like it's been used recently? Is there any residue being left by a giant sentient ball, floating around it, potentially brushing on it, or does it seem just as dusty as everything?
Is there any
I
ball
was
goo?
just gonna
Is
say,
what
does
you're
it
asking?
does a giant sentient ball leave an imprint?
Unfortunately, yes.
If a tree falls in the woods, does the beholder have a footprint?
I'm still on
Or a,
ball
or a
goo
ball
personally,
ball
but-
print.
You know, the second you thought of Balgu, I just thought of like Beholder Swass. Like,
I mean, I still have this troll goo if you want to look at that, but
all right, make an investigation check.
Time to.
Yeah, this is not the game for this is. Welcome to D&D, where everything is an innuendo.
What check is this?
Investigation.
It's a straight 17.
So, not me. Anyway, so as the brown noise, or the brown note emanates throughout the.
I did not use this contraption yet. I was saving it for later.
You touch the throne. Next thing you know, the whole fucking throne room erupts. No, so looking over and scouring it, it is a very intricately made copper throne. The seat is padded. You can tell there's been some wear to it. Looking at it for any inclination of whether or not this potential beholder sat there, you do not see anything, and there is a nice thick layer of dust over the cushion.
Yeah.
You do, however. The cat doesn't trust anything I'm saying. You do, however, see that on the ground, where normally there would be a thin layer of dust, where somebody sitting in the throne would sit, there are 2 feet marks.
So the cane.
Are these like tiny feet, like the size of a kobold-sized creature?
No, these are like boot prints.
Okay. So either a ball's got feet, which doesn't make sense.
Do I see anything invisible in
Damn.
the room other than just the only thing in that throne room was the pile of bones, right?
Yes, and if you wouldn't be if something was invisible, you inherently wouldn't be able to see it.
I understand. I have to ask anyway.
If you'd like to make a perception check, you can do so.
Do I see any
Just to-
predator movement? Oh, that is a
You
natural
see the
20
shit, too.
perception check.
Ooh.
24.
You do not see anything.
I'm gonna swing my blade in the pile of bones.
Okay.
Angrily. 'Cause I wanna hit
You
something.
hear one of them start to go, but then by the time your glaive comes down onto it, it just shatters.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
No, that was the hand axe. It wasn't my glaive.
Okay, sorry.
Heading off. at
Forgive
the
me.
pass.
I misstepped.
The bones made a noise? I'm sorry, I misheard that.
The bones, as he brought his glaive down, kind of in recognition of something coming in close to it, like, and started to turn. But by the time the glaive hit it, with how hard Viago can hit, and this thing not having any armor and just basically being a decomposing body, just
I did it on
splits it in half,
purpose.
shatters.
It was moving.
That was
These-
alive. I mean, well, dead, but not dead, but okay. So there were other things here.
Heading things off at the pass.
These footprints. Do they is this like bare footprints or like in a boot or a shoe?
They're
In a
booted.
boot?
Yep.
Nilo, do you know of anybody else around here who has exceptional taste in footwear?
I was gonna say, swear to God, if it was a nat 20. The people before you, but none of them made it up here. They went to the catacombs.
And I don't suppose you've seen any of them be brought back from the dead?
One or two, but they went into the city.
Okay, so there's something strange going on around here. Somebody's been walking around up here. There's no signs of a beholder. that I can see here, but somebody's
it-
been walking around here.
And maybe it's possible that someone's trying to pretend to be a beholder.
Somebody's using illusions of some kind. Yeah. It's very possible that maybe they're using an illusion to seem like a beholder when they're just a dude walking around in boots.
Mila, you said you had a lot of knowledge. You're real smart.
Yeah. Wait. Would it be like if I did and he does this quick movement with his smaller hands, and you watch as a little tiny figure of himself, like a mirror image almost of himself, appears like 30 feet away.
Is this motherfucker a trickster cleric?
No, it's Thea, you recognize it as he's casting minor image.
That's what I was. Yeah.
It's possible. I don't think Milo could have done this one though. These shoes are way too big for him.
Well, I don't
Diago,
think
you get 2 luck if you didn't.
I don't
I'm
think
sure
he-
you saw it, but
I didn't actually. Thank you.
he did that. That's a little bit harder to do. That I mean, from what I saw, it looked like that thing was huge.
I don't know how to do anything that big now.
Well, we might not have a choice other than to go down into the catacombs.
Sounds like it.
This beholder may have been a red herring, which is unfortunate because it means that my natural 20 was for nothing.
Well, the good news is that, this will probably be more manageable if the rumors are true about these beholder thingies. I hear they're nasty beasts.
Yeah.
Plus, if it's something that's actually alive, I might be able to use my new contraption.
Are there any other
that's true.
Are there any other rooms off of this that we haven't explored?
You haven't explored the one that's directly below this. When you entered through, there was a doorway to your right when you entered originally into the overlook.
Okay, so nothing
one?
up here on this floor.
So these rooms are like sleeping chambers. It looks like, at least in that hallway that you guys were in. You guys haven't really explored or looked at those, but you would imagine any wealth was brought to the throne room.
So we either go down into the catacombs now, or we head back and explore the other way from the entrance. Other than that, it seems like we've seen everything.
Well, I was just curious, Nilo. You said you're really good at finding like books and stuff. You ever seen a book around here about maybe someone else, some other type of king who lived here?
One minute, and he kind of walks and he does a spell really quick, and you watch as he vanishes, and then about half a second later he comes back and he's holding a stack of papers.
Oh, I was hoping you'd come back with the Bible.
Could you give me like the quick summary version? We don't got much time.
Yeah, this is journal from a guy named King Kadek talking about letters to somebody he really liked, and then talking about how the disease was spreading and that it would eventually get to the Overlook, so he had to close the Overlook and until eventually it was overran. And it's very like it got to the point that that Morlock was being overran. Things started to get really bad, and it came down to the hard decision of he had to defend himself and the people within the Overlook, so he pulled every resource he had and just made a last stand at the Overlook.
So they went down with the ship instead of evacuating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Idiots.
But this where we're at right now is the Overlook, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Does it say what the name of the person that was being written to?
It was to
Yeah, it did.
it was to a Isabella Clarion.
Okay.
And it doesn't seem like they were like lovers or like family.
For For royalty, there's not much of a
If you're
distinction.
well, no. I'm trying to think if are you asking that to Nilo, or are you actually taking the time to go through and see what kind of
let me
vibe?
ask it. So, Nilo, does it seem like they were lovers or like family, brother, sister, mother, son?
Well, King seemed to. I actually found a couple of his private notes in his diary.
Oh.
But seems like King really liked this lady, and lady was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh, that's so sad.
Been there.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's sad.
But,
I don't know. I find it was pretty entertaining. Should have seen some of the stuff he talked about.
Simp.
But so if they took their last stand here, that means that his body would still be here, right?
Well, I thought maybe he was gonna try and walk around dead like, pretend like he was something more than he was.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got driven into the caves at the end, and that's where they wound up. If they're not wandering around up here.
I mean, I guess the only solution is to go down, check it out.
Looks
Thank
like we
you.
got to go down to the crypt.
Do we
Sounds like
want to
it.
check the rest of the castle first, or do we want to just go straight to the crypt?
I mean,
You guys
feel
got
like-
a giant disclaimer. The DM disclaimer. You guys got a giant pile of gold just sitting there that y'all haven't touched yet.
What pile of gold? It's all gone.
A pile of gold.
Oh,
Oh,
it's all
that
gone? All right.
gold is absolutely a mimic. He just really wants us to get mimicked.
It's an ooze.
Oh, damn it. Dude, why do you give me these ideas?
They're great
I just
ideas.
want to literally, like little tiny swarms of
It's
fucking
just-
mimics, like rats. Oh my god.
Oh.
Solo, write it down. You better fucking use it. Please. Because I won't be able to use it.
You know, I don't really like mimics traditionally, but I like that version of a mimic. I like that.
I have, dude, we need to talk. I have mimics for you. Mimics are my second favorite D&D creature after kobolds. So.
What about a trench coat kobold mimic?
How would that even work?
The trench coat's the
I
mimic.
don't.
It's a layer upon
Eating the
layer
trench
upon
Trench coat's
layer.
the mimic.
Eating the kobolds? Do the kobolds get pack tactics because they're wearing the mimic?
Oh my god, my brain.
Oh, God.
My camera
All right, we're
went
not
out
doing
of focus because I'm.
All right. So you go back into the throne room and start to collect your gold. You find 3,278 gold pieces. 478, or no, I just said 78. 432 silver pieces and 10,000, about roughly, copper pieces. They're copper, so they're not worth very much. But
That's a lot of shinies.
Putting all that in the
Ah.
bag of holding.
Yes.
I didn't catch the other two though. Did someone write that down?
Forgot we had a bag of holding.
3278, 432, 10,000.
Got it.
yeah, that's and the 10,000 is a rough number. It's not like you obviously don't count. You're not counting them all. You're shuffling them into the bag of holding at
Sure.
that point. But
Yeah, I've
But
got-
man, you counted out all 3,278 gold, bit by bit.
well, gold is important. I really like.
I
gold.
know how much it weighs. I'm like, yeah, this is $1.25.
Part of the trade.
Yeah. Gino's over there stacking things at 10.
Yeah.
Well,
Put little
Putting the
eyeglasses
little
on.
the paper tubes.
Pull out a little typewriter.
do you want to check out the crypt? See if anything down there?
Yeah, I'm ready to party.
Yeah.
Or do we, well, I mean, since it doesn't seem like they're in any hurry to come back here, do we want to, rest up for a bit, or are we good?
I
we're already
am
rested
running.
up.
I'm running a little low on spell slots, but if everybody else is ready to party, I'm at full HP, so I can
I
just
mean,
hack and
I,
slash.
I'm always good for a nap, but at the same time, if we're good to go, I could be good to go.
How recently did we long rest?
You long rested less than 12 hours ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
because we
then
long rested before we
never
came out
mind.
here, right?
Yeah, you finished a long
Yeah.
rest in the like you took an afternoon long nap into the early evening, and then journeyed from Helm's Hold through those passageways underground to Morlock, and then got here a little bit before dawn, and went through and have been scouring the place since.
But I'm a level 4 character and I burn through spell slots like nothing.
It's so bad.
So
Yeah, I can still rock and roll. We can't take a long rest anyway, right?
Yeah,
Because
no,
we're
we
less than
can't.
12 hours.
No,
All
no.
right.
Off we go!
All right. And as you head back down, or back into the tower, and back down into the subterranean depths, looking to see what waits below the overlook, we're going to go on a break real quick. So, exclamation point raffle. We'll do some more dice.
Oh,
Solo
I wrote Beholder in there, so it's just Beholder.
Oh.
Sorry.
Right, behold, I don't know. Do a thing, put beholder. Whatever Solo tells you all to do it, and you can win some dice. Hashtag.
Oh my god, everyone's doing raffle. All right, hang on, guys.
Guys, don't put raffle. Abort.
Yes. So yeah, just enter Beholder in the chat, in the Twitch chat, Fable 42's Twitch chat only, and we'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes, give or take.
welcome back. Congratulations to VDA Monster. Hop into our Discord and shoot me a message, and I will get you a set of awesome Slayers Guild dice from our wonderful friends at Slayers Guild Dice. Oh my god, I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Awesome. Yeah, so back to our adventure. You have begun to descend the steps into the depths beneath the overlook. The musk and scent as you descend begins to fill your noses. It's damp, dark, and smells of rot and flesh. You reach the bottom of this stairwell, and the stairwell, once it goes down from the first floor, is enclosed. Up on like going from the first to second floor of the overlook, it's open, but once you start to head deep in underground, it's just a single stairwell that goes all the way around, continuing to spiral down. It opens up into a small circular room, not unlike the tower rooms on the 2 stories above. A single door stands before you.
It doesn't go down any deeper. This is it.
This is it. But you guys do go down about 150 to 200 feet.
Can I listen for signs of movement or anything on the other side?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
I'm like real distracted by something.
It's stinky down here.
All right. You pressing your ear against the side, you don't hear anything.
Do you hear anything?
No.
Oh.
I guess nothing for it. Gonna creak the door open and take a peek.
All right. You push the door open, and you see about a 7 or 8 foot wide, about 10 or so foot tall hallway before you cut into the rock. Goes from about a maybe 10 or 15 feet before it starts to curve.
Well, not a lot of choices to make here. Keep your eyes open. Sometimes, the royal families, they like to trap their crypts. So, just be a little careful. I'm gonna keep my eyes out for traps as we progress.
All right, give me. What's the marching order
Let
look
me
like?
check something here real quick.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'll probably be near the front.
Yes. Okay, hang on. I got something here for this, actually. Where is it? Here it is. And Art is going to pull out of his pocket what looks like a rather worn down stick. And he is going to let's see, how do I activate this thing again? Let's see. He's gonna smack it against the wall. Hang on. Here we go. And it is going to give off a small spark and expend one of its charges. Does there happen to be a secret door or trap within 30 feet of us?
No, there's not.
Thing must be busted. Okay, or maybe there's nothing here. I don't know, but either way.
There was gonna be. He just didn't want to give me the satisfaction.
I love the immediate. Oh man, this thing doesn't work.
Smack it against your hand a couple times. New batteries.
No.
Well, I guess the room should be good.
All right. Well, let's go.
Are we doing marching order? You said.
I mean,
Yes, please. Just for my own point of order.
I mean, put the big boy in front as always.
All right.
He doesn't get a say in the matter.
All right, Viago, and then who's following behind Viago?
Probably me.
All right.
I don't think we got to worry about people approaching us from behind. Maybe now we do. Now that I said that out loud and Logan could hear it.
I'm trying not to meta your. I'm trying my best not to meta your ideas, as great of ideas as they are.
Art's gonna stay nice and close to his business partner.
All right, so Art.
I'll go behind Art.
I'll
Awesome.
go in the end.
Taking a
Awesome, man. All right, cool. This is gonna be fun. I mean, what? No, you guys are good. You
Is there a
start.
more sensible way to do this? All right.
I don't know. Usually somebody to protect the squish in the back, but you know.
No.
She's got she's still got mage armor on.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
she does
really
still
made
have
me
mage armor.
so much stronger.
Art, can you just put your trap at the base of this door as we come in here?
Oh, he'd have to
Do
retrieve
you
it
think,
from.
do you think someone's
Oh.
gonna come in and come in from this door?
If somebody does come from behind us, they'd have to pass through here. So it is a choke point.
Okay.
Um,
And I guess I did say it off stream, so would you say
Yeah,
that I
you
would
could
have
have-
grabbed it by now, or
You could have, as you guys were coming down, you could have ran ahead and went and picked it up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Art takes about a minute, and the what's the ground made out of?
The ground is just stone.
It's stone. Okay, so slightly less helpful, but see, I wonder. Viaga, do you have like a chisel or anything?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. And
Why
I
do I
love how
have
everybody at this point is, hey, do you have this? Fine, here you go.
Yeah.
Art is going to essentially try to embed this thing into the ground to make it less visible.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me.
Great.
Gone.
Do you want to be Vorpal
Where
or?
it is when we're going back out.
Either or.
Do I use a modifier on it?
No.
Great, we're gonna luck it then.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could luck it if you want to.
Yep. That's going to be a 15.
A 15. All right. Yeah. So you tink 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 tink. Stab it into the ground and chisel it into the ground, make some room for it, and you think it's pretty well hidden.
Great. Okay.
Hopefully, we remember that this is here on our way back.
You know me, I never
When
forget
we
things.
come running out.
That is fair. You do have an exceptionally keen mind.
All right.
Well,
So as Viago leads you through this tunnel, it winds and twists for maybe about another 50 or so feet before you guys can start hearing the soft movement of water ahead in the cavern before you. Viago stepping in, it does open up into a small chamber, maybe about, it opens up into a larger cavern with maybe about 40 or 50 foot ceiling. There's a small, looking off to the right, those of you that have dark vision, which I believe is all of you guys.
we
I
all
don't
have
know why I
dark
keep-
vision, yeah.
Yeah, I should just remember that. For some reason, I always forget that ASMR get it.
How big did you say the room is again?
It's about 50 feet high, and then about, given that it's an actual cavern, it's about like 25, 30 feet by 30 feet or so.
What the hell? Let's give this another whirl here. And he's gonna pull the stick back out, ting, 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 and it gives off another spark.
Within 60 feet or 30 feet?
30 feet.
Within 30 feet, faintly, but it's coming from like this direction over here, because it gives you directionality. Once that sets up. It's coming
what-
over from like this ish direction.
Do I know what is pinging, or do I have to actually physically see it?
I think it tells you. You're getting trap vibes.
Okay. Oh, okay. It does work. All right. So be careful going around that corner. It definitely picked up something.
I'm gonna.
Cavern's a little bit bigger than what I said. I apologize.
Okay. I'm gonna.
It's hard
I'm
to
gonna-
gauge it with a picture.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna spot check the ceiling.
Yeah, do so.
I got excited. Sorry.
Just because at this point, I
No,
feel like if
you're-
I don't do it every time, he's gonna take advantage. 9.
All right. You look up at the ceiling. The only thing you do see is a singular hole, maybe about 5 feet around, that looks to be over the water source.
Oh, we're under the well where we fought the troll.
That's interesting.
Uh-oh.
Huh.
It's the same water source.
So this whole thing... Wait, that means this whole thing used to be full of water, I'd assume. What drained it? Wait, so they have their crypts... Okay. How deep is this river running through?
Make a general intelligence check. Art, you can too.
General intelligence? 8. Nice.
Racing thoughts. Let's see. Just straight intelligence.
Sorry.
That'll be a 14.
14. So looking at it, Art, it looks so. From what you gauge, given that you're roughly 200 or so feet underground, and Gino, yours was just a 9, you said?
8.
An 8? Okay.
But
Yeah,
I'll take a 9 if you'll give it to me.
you don't think, either way, you don't think much of it, but Art, kind of looking at the structure and running, the cogs moving in your head, the pond that was there seemed to be an isolated pond, like a man-made pond. The well drops down into this creek that moves through the cavern from one end to the other. So it looks like whoever dug in here found the well, or found this creek, which it seems to be pretty self-sustaining, and then decided to put a well so they could just drop a bucket and have a fresh water supply consistently. So
That's
it
not-
didn't. No, this didn't happen to be some sort of reservoir. No,
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
architecturally that would have made 0 sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it seems to be a very impractical place to put a well, but if it gets the job done.
Where is this water coming from? This is like a pretty landlocked city.
Should we
And it's
follow
kind
it?
of high up, too. Well, is there a way to follow it, or does it just kind of go off
Yeah,
into the hole?
so on the side that you guys came in at, looking through, it does seem like you do see light at the end of the tunnel. It is smaller, like it is a smaller waterway, like it eventually eroded through time, and they found it. But at the end of the tunnel, you do see kind of shadowed at the end of your vision what look to be some sort of bars or something that blocks off that end from being a point of ingress.
Like a
I could
sewer
go,
grate or something?
I could go for
or-
a drink. Oh.
Yeah, like a sewer grate.
Okay, so we probably can't follow that
Do we
tremendous deal.
do we see any other openings or entrances in the space other than where the water is coming and going?
So you see where the water is, and then looking around, you can see this one as well if you from where your vision is.
And that's the trapped one, right?
Yeah, the trap is definitely in that corridor down there.
Well, the trap probably means that whatever we're looking for is going to be in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah. All right.
So, I mean, are we going there?
I'm curious about the river, but if there's a grate down there, I don't know that we can actually follow it very far.
Yeah.
Alright.
Anybody good at disarming traps?
I'm good at setting them off.
Just throw a rock at him.
Maybe you can do that thing where you make them good at what you do with Iago.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll cast guidance on Art.
Oh, okay.
That'll help if you want to, carefully and preferably quietly set off the trap.
Carefully and quietly. Got it. And Art's gonna go towards the hallway.
At a mad dash.
All right.
Be careful.
As you do, Art, and you get to where it turns, you watch as it twists and turns, and at the end, a good distance away, but still within view.
Oh.
welcome back. Sorry, had a quick tech delay. So, Art, as you head toward that hallway, you see the door before you. And as you do, you peek around, you hear a voice in your head. Why?
Who?
Why?
Where?
God damn it.
Who is speaking to me?
You hear this in your head, and you hear, "Do not play with me, goblin."
Does this voice sound at all familiar to me?
Roll an insight check. Ooh, that was almost a 20.
Yeah, it was almost a 1. How's a dirty 20 to you?
Dirty 20, no, this voice does not seem familiar in the slightest. And when you hear it in your head, your head almost like goes cold, as if something is trying to reach out and grasp it.
Is Art saying this out loud?
I mean, I guess you could respond out loud as well. Are you? I guess the question is, are you responding out loud, Art?
The initial responses of, the various W's were definitely out loud. The last part was probably in his head once he finally figured out what was going on. Who are you, and why are you talking to me this way?
It doesn't matter. Why are you here?
Well, we were told to come here and acquire something.
This something doesn't happen to be something that sits on a person's head, does it?
Just say crown, man.
Well, I mean, yes, that is typically the appropriate place for you to wear it. I mean, I guess if you really get creative, you could try to wear it other places, but it probably wouldn't be as comfortable.
And what do you wish to do with this crown?
Point of order. Did it belong to the person that we're trying to bring it back to, or were they just wanting it?
To your knowledge, it belonged to King Kaddock Morin.
That's right.
And
okay.
your goal was to get the crown on top of whatever remains of the king you could find and bring it back to Driston.
Oh, so he wanted the actual remains of the king back too.
If you could find them. If not, that wasn't part of the deal. It was strictly the crown. If you went and could find the remains of the king, also bringing them back.
Is there room for a corpse in a bag of holding?
Yes.
There's always a room for a corpse, at least one, in a bag of holding.
If I don't have
All right.
15,000 gold pieces in there, there's lots of room for a dead body in there.
Would you happen to be the owner of this thing that one wears on their head?
Currently, yes.
But not formerly?
I'm unsure.
What do you mean?
He's just renting it.
I do not remember most of my past since I've became what I am now.
And what's that?
Continue forward and find out.
Well, we're not necessarily here to cause any trouble. Do you think if I come forward, or if my friends come with me, that we could do so without causing any problems?
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, good. One of my strongest skill sets.
Come on, Art. Come on, Art.
How's a 13
You do have
do ya?
guidance.
I do have guidance, that's right. La 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 la. Where are my dice? Here are my dice. So
That's not bad.
not bad.
That was. I mean, either way, it was a 3 or 4. That's a good roll.
A 16.
A 16 total.
Nice.
You alone may enter.
Secrets are no fun, Caddick.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
And as oh, go ahead, Art.
No, I was just gonna say, as he's about to go through, he's like, "Oh, do you know anything about this hallway? Is this gonna hurt me?"
Knock thrice before you enter. The door will not harm you.
Oh.
Excellent. Do I believe this voice?
Roll an insight check.
16.
16. You believe this voice in your head.
Okay.
Luck to both Art and Viago.
Thank you. I'm probably gonna need it. All right. So, Art proceeds forward.
As you proceed forward, you reach the doorway. The door slowly swings open. Inside, you can see a number of crypts lining the walls. All but one closed.
Okay, so I approach the one that's open.
As you step into the door frame, the door closes behind you for a brief second, and you see, flanking you on either side, a white. One of these soldiers that you saw commanding the undead in Driston.
Oh my.
They don't move other than to open and close the door for you. You make your way to this singular crypt, where inside laying, you see a hooded and cloaked figure.
Are you the one who's been having this lovely conversation with me?
You hear in your head again, I am.
So,
And
my
you
question?
can see on top of the head, kind of holding this cowl that's draped over the front of the face and the sides, like onto the head. It makes the crown that you guys found on the beholder, or that illusionary beholder, look like a child's crown. It's still that copper make, but it's inlaid and inscribed with silvers and golds, some obsidians. There's different gemstones that are completely around it as well. It's extremely ornate, extremely well crafted. One of the most beautiful pieces of metalwork you've ever seen.
That's a very beautiful crown you have.
Thank you. Now, our business. You wish to have the crown to take.
Well, that was also under the assumption that its former owner was no longer around, which seems to not be the case. Maybe, possibly, I don't know.
I am the current owner of this crown, yes.
Did you know the former owner?
I think so. I've known of him, at least. I don't quite know if I'm him or was him. But I remember Caddick.
Yeah, that's the name. That's the name that we were given.
Art, give me a perception check.
I'm gonna luck that. Oh, that was so much better. Oh, good. So that'll come out to a whopping 7.
7. Looking around the chamber, you start to look at crypt by crypt, each of them still closed. Trying to look at the different names. None of them, like, either there's enough dust over them, or they're just written very poorly, or they might be in another language. I don't know. You thought they all looked like they were common. You're unsure. Looking at the one at your feet, the one thing you do see, even though you can't identify any of the others, is that the one in front of you, inlaid into the crypt itself, it says, "Here lies King Kadok Morin, last of his line."
Is this where you sleep?
Yes, this is where I sleep.
Well, according to the name written here, it if you are what it seems like you might be, it's possible that maybe you and Kadok might be the same.
You watch as the head or the cowl shifts slightly, almost in recognition, as if it's nodding. And you watch as it slowly kind of... I almost just did a vampire wake, and I'm like, nope. Nope, it's not a vampire. Can't do that. But you watch as it just slowly, on a 90-degree, very similar to what a typical vampire would do, except it doesn't do the whole like thing. It stands up, and then it begins to rise out of the sarcophagus, or the vault it's in, and drift over, and then set down, standing now directly across from you.
So you're not actually tied to that thing. That's actually really convenient.
No, I go here to rest.
Well, would you want to come on a trip with us?
Where?
Well, we were sent here to bring Kadok and his crown back with us. But since you're here, you might be able to, this person might be very interested to meet you.
And again, where are we going? You just kind of talk gibberish there.
Oh, sorry. I get really, really excited in situations like this, and so my mouth kind of gets ahead of me sometimes, even because I just my brain does work really, really fast, but sometimes my mouth works faster than my brain, and it just kind of becomes gobbledygook every now and then. But Art's keen mind is going to remember far better than Eddie's poor mind is going to. What was the name of the person we were trying to bring this back to?
Okay, Liam O'Brien. No. Liam, if you're watching this, which I know you're not. No, I'm kidding. You are bringing it back to Randall Morin.
Randall Morin, that's right.
Who is the mayor of Driston.
Got it. Let's see, what was it? Oh, that's right. Randall Morin. That was the one who wanted to meet you.
I guess I could go for a trip. It's been a while since I've left these grounds.
How long has it been?
Years, decades, maybe.
Oh.
I've lost track.
Well, there might be some different things to see then. World might have changed a bit since the last time you've been outside.
Well, if I'm going to go on a trip, I will need to get my court in order.
Oh, okay.
And he nods toward the two whites standing by the door, and he kind of goes like this, and they walk past you both, bow, and then they walk to the door on the opposite side of the crypt, and they exit through. They open that door and close it behind them.
Fascinating.
They will go and prepare my court for travel. It'll take some time, but you will lead us. Well, they'll have to go to Morlock. So at least the better part of today.
Oh, well, there is a big scary thing flying around Morlock at the moment, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work out for us.
Oh, don't you worry about Duval.
Duval?
You see, my court listens to me and will follow me wherever I go.
Oh! Well, that's really convenient.
So, where are we going? You still have not answered that.
Looking through my notes, what the hell is the name of the place?
Dristin.
Tristan, thank you, sorry.
Dristin.
Dresden.
Yes, while Art is a highly intelligent creature, Eddie's brain is clearly not here tonight, so yes, Tristan. Yeah, I think it was Tristan is where we need to go back to. That's where Randall's waiting for us.
Alright. Well, better part of today, feel free to explore the castle as you wish. My court will be ready by nightfall.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very, very hospitable of you.
And he bows his head and just kind of... You can leave now. With my good graces.
Oh, well, thank you. Nice to meet you, Gaddock.
And make one more perception check.
Come on, Art, don't fail me now.
Use your luck point.
Last time it didn't do me so good, but sure.
Humana.
Oh, that was almost a 4.
Is that last humana?
17.
17. So you watch as he goes to bow his head, or at least kind of like bow his head in respect. The lower portion of the folds of his cloak kind of shift, and in that brief moment, you can see tendrils coming from his chin.
Tendrils.
And he turns and heads toward the door.
Does that mean anything to me?
Make a Arcana check.
Oh, no.
Arcana's not bad, if I recall correctly.
For you, it shouldn't be.
18.
18. You've heard a lot of stories from the mountains of people who have dug too deep, who have found ruins or a different architecture, or have messed the wrong way. And even in your readings, you've heard of these. There's a certain subterranean underdark creature called an illithid, or a mind flayer.
Oh no.
The tendrils, while not the purplish hue, but instead almost a pale white, would lead you to believe that while this creature may be dead, or it may be dead, it may also be some sort of arcanely based mind flayer.
Cool.
But they usually are not solitary, from your understanding.
All right. Art is going to walk back to the door with no indication that this has dawned on him whatsoever.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, he is trying to. He's poker facing right now.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I thought Art
Yes.
didn't get it.
Oh, no. Art got it. He's just trying to not show that he got it. And yeah, going back to rendezvous with the group. Checking the door, just knocking 3 times on the door on the way out, just to be sure.
You knock 3 times. The door doesn't swing. The door doesn't swing open, so you have to open it yourself. But as you do,
Yeah.
doesn't seem like there's any sort of trap.
Okay.
So while this was going on, did we notice that Art was gone?
Yeah, Art like straight up is like he's standing there like inspecting the corner, and then just fucking dips ahead along without y'all.
Well, you did hear him say why, where, and who.
And then he went along on his own.
That's. I'm gonna like
We're gonna what's you know what? I'm sorry. I'm legit. I don't know why I just literally blanked for a second, but we will. Let's backtrack for a minute. So Viago, Nessa, Thea, and Gino. Art's been gone for at least a few minutes at this point. He watched him say, what, who, where, all the words except why. And then just
I think there was a Y in there actually.
Did you put a Y in there?
Yes.
And then you and then he dips around the corner and continues on.
Can I cast message and be like, Art, you okay over there?
All right, this would have taken place prior to you finding out that last tidbit of information.
Okay.
It's going splendidly.
Is message solely mental, or is that something
Correct.
that has to be verbalized?
It's telepathic.
Okay. Interesting turn of events. Coming back now.
Oh, y'all, he's fine. It's great.
Art, make a sleight of mind check.
Oh boy.
So roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier.
Okay, that's a little better than trying to do the other one. Okay. Yep.
No.
Okay, well, fortunately, my intelligence is good. But, any other modifiers, or is it just intelligence?
Just intelligence, because you're not technically proficient in it, because it's a stat I just made up. But
okay, but is it
also
straight intelligence,
wouldn't
or is
be
it an intelligence saving throw?
Straight intelligence.
Damn. Okay, I was trying to see if I could squeeze a little more out of it, but straight intelligence, that would make that an 11.
+2.
An 11 plus 2.
What's
No,
the plus
not
2?
not a +2. The +2 would be if it was a saving throw. I'm saying he was trying to get a +2.
Yeah, I was trying to get the +2 from the saving throw. Unless guidance isn't still active, is it? It's only one.
Guidance is only a one.
That's what I thought. Okay.
It's a one and done.
All right.
I wish. I'm sorry.
Well, technically speaking, I didn't say anything dangerous.
Oh, I
just said
know.
interesting turn of events.
I know. It was in part just to see what people's facial reactions were. Just wanted to fuck with y'all. But no, you feel that presence in your head still as you relay that message back to Thea.
I mean, he seems fine, y'all.
Do I see anything else in the room?
Make a perception check.
Because Art wanders all around and says random shit all the time. That's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You don't notice anything that seems off-putting. No.
No oozes in the ceiling?
We did.
There's
ooze
one,
check earlier.
but it's on the far end of the room, and it doesn't seem to have noticed you or made your way towards you yet.
I said that as a joke! Alright.
It's about time one of them showed up. Like,
right.
fuck, for
we
real.
keep asking, we're just asking for it.
We've been looking for him.
Yeah, I'll give you one. I'll give you a nice friendly ooze in the corner away from y'all. Like,
Okay.
see what you do. See how murder hobo-y you are.
Alright.
He's a pacifist. Don't worry about it.
Hey guys, waving its little tendrils.
No.
Yeah.
It's just me, Flubber.
No.
Okay.
You guys seen the ceiling? It's great up here.
Just hanging around.
Sorry. I'm now fully invested in the blob. I'm sorry.
Solo, my next character is going to be a black pudding something bard.
I actually have a villain campaign I'm going to do next year, so let's talk about that.
All right, let's do it. Big bad evil black pudding.
You don't want a black pudding monk.
Oh my God.
They're just like
That'd be awesome.
it's just like goes like super fast.
Yeah.
It's from everywhere.
Oh my God. Its speed is brought from 25 to 50 like that. No. So no, there is a black pudding. It's not causing any problems. It doesn't seem to have noticed you or made its way toward you. But it is attached to the ceiling, kind of over there. He really wants to eat somebody.
Well, I'm sure Art's gonna have a great story for us. Whatever's
Fucked
going
up
on
my
in
color
there.
contrast.
I mean, he seems fine, so I think we should just wait.
Yeah, I'm just jealous.
To not have an interesting story.
Yeah, whatever's going on in there. I'm very curious.
You do hear the one thing you also hear, Viago, is you hear the echoing from behind you.
The hell is that noise?
That reverberates, and that reverberates, and you all hear that.
What was that now?
No,
that
Echo,
the
don't
trap?
talk to me. Yeah, that would have been Art's trap.
All right, I'm gonna go get my eyes on that. It's like, all right, well, looks like things got a little interesting here as well.
If the trap did go off, then 6 seconds later you would have also heard a small boom.
Oh, I'm gonna wait 6 seconds and then go look.
Oh, what's that?
6 seconds. 6 seconds go by. Art, can you do me a favor? Roll. What would the damage been on that?
I think it's. Let me double check. It's either a D6 or a D8. I think it's a D8.
Let's do
5d20.
Let's do two. Let's do 2d8 for me.
Okay. Ignore the D20. So
Oof.
5.
5. All right. So as you
Nope.
round the corner, Gino, you see that portions from this explosion, portions of the wall around it and portion of the ceiling, which is now cracked, have kind of caved in a little bit in this entryway. The structure of the doorway kind of starting to collapse.
Oh,
You don't see actually underneath the rock you do see what looks to be a skeleton.
all right. Well, so it looks like this thing's about to cave in.
Not like yes and no. It looks semi-structurally sound.
Okay, so not to the point where it's like, okay, we're about to be trapped down here, but just like maybe let's not explode this area anymore.
You'd imagine if like another big explosion like that occurred, yeah, it's probably game over for this entryway. But given that there's not any sort of trap or anything like that,
Okay.
yeah.
And the skeleton is done, or
The skeleton, you can see like the arm moving, but like that's about it. It's covered in rock and rubble.
all right. Well,
On that note, if it was a skeleton, I imagine that its rib cage would have been burst outward.
Yikes.
well, it's a good thing that harming the undead in this area probably won't get us in any trouble.
Yeah. There's no way anyone has any attachment to these skeletons.
I'm gonna go report my findings back to the group and like just tell them like, yeah, there's a skeleton came down here and set off the trap.
About that time, Art, you kind of can hear humming down the hall. Comes around the corner.
Oh, there you are. Okay. So before Art says anything out loud, since I know what a mind flayer is, do I know how far their mental reach is?
No, you do not.
Okay.
What you got on your roll would not have gotten you that.
Would I know enough about them to know whether or not they prefer secrecy?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Would I know enough about them to know whether or not they prefer secrecy? Like, would me blurting out, "Hey, this person's a mind flayer," be a bad idea?
Probably, yeah. That would
Okay.
probably be something like given how covered this creature attempted to make itself, even when it was talking to you. Yeah.
Okay.
You would imagine blurting out, if you're within that telepathic range, "Hey, this dude's a mind flayer," is probably like a no-go.
So, I met Caddick.
Oh.
Or sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh.
His Royal Highness Caddick. I met His Royal Highness Caddick. Yes.
And how is His Majesty holding up?
Upright, still mobile. And apparently he wants to come back to Dristan with us.
Oh, he can talk.
Yes, very much so.
Hmm.
Kind of more of a hear thing, but yes.
Here.
Oh my god, I'm
thing?
fucking muted. Sorry. I hate it so much when you're muted and you say a bunch of things. Is Art acting extra? Like we know him pretty well, and it seems like in his demeanor he's a little extra off.
Maybe a little
Like,
bit.
too casual.
I'm gonna lean over to Thea.
He was very viciously pointing to his head when he said, talking here.
Thea,
It's a here.
can you send Art a message and ask him what's wrong?
Sure. Cast message.
Hey Gino,
Art,
did you see that big
what's
gooey thing
wrong?
in the corner? It's
Are
not
you
his
okay?
voice.
Oh.
Where did his voice go? God. Hello. Sorry.
So she did a message, or
Yeah, she said, "Are you, what's wrong? Are you okay?"
nothing wrong. Just made a very interesting friend. We had some great conversations.
I don't. That's great. Cool.
Yeah, and King Gaddock, he's gonna come back with us, and he's gonna yeah, he has the crown still, so we mission accomplished. He comes back with the crown.
Huh.
I mean, Viago, he seems fine to me.
He is gonna bring some friends though.
Oh.
How many friends?
There were a couple.
Couple, like 2, or like a
couple
lot.
like an army.
How many did I see in that room?
Like how many crypts were there? I think you said there were like 2 whites that were there.
There were two
There
whites.
were 2 whites.
There were 2 whites. There was a there were 2 whites. There was the creature in the central one, but total crypts there were about 6 of them total. 3 on the one wall and then 3 on the other, with
6
only one of them being open.
6 crypts. How many bloods?
Well, there's an entire possibility that they would be bringing, a couple of people with them.
All right.
Why?
Okay.
Didn't get a chance to ask, but he hasn't been outside in a while, so he thought it'd be nice to get some fresh air, I guess.
When did he
It's good to know.
accept the idea of you leading him to that city?
Well, I mentioned who sent us and who wanted to meet him.
And you don't think that's weird? That he wants to get his friends to all go to this city together?
Why would that be weird?
I mean, he is a king.
Because he also took over the last city,
Exactly.
possibly.
Art,
I think
That he went into.
no, I think everything seems to be on the up and up here. Let's hear him out.
are you all
if he's going-
bewitched?
Yeah,
If he's going peacefully, why should we assume there's a problem?
Right?
We're leading the wolf into the sheep's pen.
No, he's not a wolf. He's a king.
Yeah, it's
I'm going to cast message to Viago. I don't think he wants to say it out loud.
And why didn't he say it in his mind? Do you have any
Cast
paper?
message in return. I feel like maybe we're being listened to. I don't know. I feel like there's only. That's all.
At this point, you start to hear or you start to feel that cold in your head become warm.
Become warm.
Warm. WARM.
Like normal worm?
Like normal
Like the
warm
cold-
or like artificial warm?
Like not like normal. Normal.
Did you
Yeah.
get your luck, by the way, Logan?
I did. Thank you, everybody.
And Art gets one
Villains
too.
rule. Villains rule.
Oh, thank you. Would Art know enough to make sense of what that means?
Yeah, you're smart enough. Also, you get a second luck point.
Oh, thank you.
That's what that means.
You get that warm, tingly sensation. You get a luck point. Nice.
Do we want to maybe step outside for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, it seems we've done what we came here to do.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did my trap ever go off or anything?
Yes.
It did actually. Yes, you you caught yourself a keeper.
Oh, wonderful.
Almost brought the cavern down with it. We probably should have thought about that, but
Oh yeah, if it didn't do that, it must need some modification still.
I think it's fine as it is.
Oh god.
Let's.
One
I
of the-
think
one of your
outside
gadgets.
then.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go for a walk.
Go to the stairs.
right.
Like stairs outside.
Well,
Yeah.
there's no other way
Uh,
out.
I'm just saying, are we just going to the stairs, or do you want to go all the way outside?
At the very least, let's. Art's just gonna start walking back the way they came.
Okay.
Follow. As soon as Art
Me
stops,
too.
I'll stop.
All right.
Uh.
So you go back out the way you came, up the spiral staircase into the kitchen. If
Is
you're
my-
going to the first floor, into
Is
the
my
kitchen.
bear
Yep.
trap destroyed?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's already been disassembled.
Son of a bitch.
Everything Art touches just explodes.
This is what happens when you put things in Art's hands.
And you chose that.
You
Did
said,
I?
and I quote, you said, and I quote, fine.
Because fighting with him is more painful than giving it to him.
Can always get another bear trap.
That was my lucky
So
bear trap.
so once they make it back out to the kitchen area, does Art's mind still feel warm?
Yeah. Yeah, mostly, yeah.
Hmm.
No,
Okay.
yes. I'm sorry.
All
I said
right,
mostly. and
all
that threw
right.
you off. Yes,
All
it's
right.
fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, our friend the king is not quite himself anymore.
Uh-huh.
Stands to reason.
He's. I can't tell if he's dead or not.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, he had sort of, this thing going on.
A beard?
Uh,
Oh.
Did he have tentacles? Is that what you're saying?
that is not what I said.
Would Nessa know that is clearly that? Like, will we recognize that as a thing?
Viago, Nessa, I mean, anyone can make either a history or an arcana check if they'd like.
I'm wondering if I would have heard enough of this to.
21.
I don't feel like I would have.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because like
I have 5.
it's like, what's the difference between like player knowledge and character knowledge here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nessa, no. Thea, what'd you get?
I don't think I would know, so I'm not gonna roll. I don't think I would
Awesome.
have.
Viago, you got 20 something, and Gino got a 17.
No,
Yeah,
I actually
I
got
feel
a
like-
19.
I feel like-
I looked at the wrong one, so mine was a 19.
I feel like I would have some worldly knowledge.
Yeah. The two of you are able to put 2 and 2 together. Viago, through your travels, there have obviously been people in the guild who have been tasked with hunting down illithids or mind flayers. You'd know that they typically aren't solitary, that they are typically in hives, and they're very psionic or mental based. Same thing with you, Gino. Except you get more of like the folklore aspect of it.
Do I get to know where Illithid come from?
Yeah, you get that added knowledge of where, like, Viago, your knowledge is very Underdark based, because that's for the most part where
Yeah.
bounty hunters and delvers would go. Gino, you get the whole other side of it, where you get the astral sea, where you get these
Okay.
creatures coming from plane shifting essentially,
And
and being able to
would I reasonably be able to piece together why he's an Illithid?
No,
No? Okay.
nope, you can't. Yeah, you
eye worm.
you. you both understand the eye worm. Thank you, Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay. Okay,
You both understand the eye worm, but you can't put the pieces together to determine if King Kadok is King Kadok the Illithid, or just an Illithid who is claiming to be King Kadok.
Okay.
That's more of what I'm. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. So, if in that case, if
We'd
that
take his head.
is Kadok, he's alive, but he's not really.
That was
Kadok
very much the
anymore.
impression I had.
But does that mean like part of him is in there?
It means essentially that he's a host.
He's no longer there.
Like so he's not like trapped inside. Like we can't save him.
We can free
It would
him.
take a much more powerful healer than I to even come close.
We couldn't like take him to someone like that.
Yeah. It's
What if-
it's a long shot.
What about the there was that library, the Malthier Collective. They had some powerful spell people there.
But you're
Is this
assuming.
about-
Have I
match-based.
heard anything about anybody being able to successfully like medically figure out how to do stuff like this?
No.
No. Like
But
it's-
we're assuming that it's still him. And again,
Yeah, that's
that's if it's still him.
I don't think
regardless-
there's coming back from that.
Regardless, if the Illithid are here, I think that gives me a pretty good idea of where this plague may have come from.
Yes.
From them?
And this drinking water.
It seems like a hell of a coincidence for Illithid to be here, and an undead plague to be here, and for them to be completely unrelated.
Art, was he still there? Or did he leave?
He was still in the room when he left, right? He was just going out the door, I think.
He left. Basically, you guys kind of turned toward each other. You noticed that, and you guys both pieced out separate doors.
Got it. Well, he went out the other door in the room, so I don't know how far he went.
I think we need to search the rest of this place very quickly, get as much information as we can about whether or not this is an Illithid proper or a host. The more information we can get about the situation, the better. And I'm assuming we probably don't have that much time before he's going to want to leave. There's still a whole half of this place that we haven't looked at.
Yeah, he said he had to get his court in order before they were going to come with us.
Okay, well,
Maybe we
Like
can
his
ask our
court,
friend.
like the rest of his Illithid, is what you're saying.
did you see any other Illithid?
The only person that I saw that looked like King Kadok was King Kadok.
You said there were how many things in that room?
There were
No.
two things in there that were definitely not alive.
So he is connected to the undead then.
Possibly? They seemed like they worked for him.
Well, that seems like confirmation. So the Illithid were behind all this. Why did you say so many before if there were only two?
There were only two in the room, but there were other crypts in there.
Oh,
Do you think those crypts potentially contained other Illithid?
Didn't get to see inside.
This is not
Well,
good.
I think that it's in our best interest to assume the worst, which is that every one of those has an Illithid inside. Or a host.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming, just in case. Don't know.
No, you did good, Art. Thank you.
It's probably a good thing we didn't go in there fighting.
Yeah.
very good thing.
Alright,
Can we go in there fighting now?
Not without a plan and information.
What other information do you need? Illithid
I don't
are
know.
pure
And be
evil.
clear, if you try to punch through all of them, all they're gonna do is get inside your mind and disable you.
Yes, but if there's just one here by himself, and
If
he
there's
doesn't
6
have
of
his
them,
but if he doesn't have his allies, we're going to be outnumbered when he waits for his court.
the crypts were in the room, yes?
Mm-hmm.
if they're rather illithid sitting in there, you go swaggering in there, throwing punches, you suddenly got 6 things throwing psychic attacks at you.
I don't think they're in there.
I'd say it's probably best to err on the side of caution here.
We should check then, yeah?
Wait, you guys talked to the king?
Ah!
Hey, Stitch.
And standing against the wall with both his arms up against the wall
I swear.
is Nilo, just straight chilling.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy.
He's
You know, he didn't really seem to be a floating ball. Yeah, basic geometry is difficult. I understand.
Have you ever talked to him before?
just up here. I have. And only a couple times.
Did he ever bring any of his friends with him?
I mean, he has the really pale people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet them.
And then, I mean, there's other undead that typically come back and forth from the city sometimes. But I mean, there's no one that looks like a big giant ball. No.
This is an outpost. His court, all his friends are in the city.
Wait. You said that there was another door in there, yeah?
Yes.
You went a different way?
Mm-hmm.
It's the tunnels. They came up through the Underdark, through the tunnels. The other door there must connect to the Underdark. If that's the case, who knows how many they can pull up through here.
We can't let him warn them, then. We're letting him walk back to his people to get reinforcements, for God's sake.
So...
I don't know that we can catch up to him at this point.
I mean, I guess it's worth a shot.
Unless, our friend here, do you know the inside of this place?
I mean, I know the castle, and I know how to get to Morlock pretty quickly. But I've only been in the crypts once, and I've been in the crypts a few times, but I've only been in there and stayed in there for a long period of time once, and I haven't gone through that other door at all.
You ever find like a blueprint or something in your time here?
And he kind of gives you the 1 second with all 4 of his fingers, and then jumps down and scales up the hearth. And you can hear a little bit of rustling as he's running around the second floor. And he's waits for, you guys wait for a minute, 2 minutes.
Before he comes back, how does Nilo get to like just be around here if they are what you say they are, and they can do the things that you can say they do? Do you think they're using him for something? Why are they keeping him alive?
I mean, they probably just won't concern themselves with him.
I also don't think they always know
suppose
where he is. He seemed relieved earlier when we didn't see him, and surprised that we weren't one of them.
True.
He's also been describing them as something that they're not.
He's been describing them as beholders, and I'm not sure if that's... It's
Maybe
possible
he
they've just been using illusions the entire time.
I don't think
He sees them as that.
I think takes things at face value. I mean, he chose to trust us instead of just like, I don't know, trying to kill us.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I suppose it's just like
Simply because
he
you
seems
said.
like he seems like a useful chap is all. It just seems like I don't know. A wasted opportunity.
I feel like we're wasting time.
Anyway, alright. Out through the other door?
He comes kind of scampering down. And I didn't manage to find any blueprints in the library. But you guys might want to see this. And he's like, meet me, and he kind of points up and he climbs back up.
Meet him where?
I think he
Up
means
there?
in the
Back to
upstairs
the
chamber.
library upstairs.
Upstairs.
Okay.
Up we go.
So you wind up to the second floor. You open the door into this what looks like to be the king's bedchambers, and you walk over, and you can see Nilo is standing on the edge where the second half or the second story has been carved out or destroyed, and he's looking out over onto Morlock. And the five of you, as you step over, and the sun now coming at your backs over the mountaintops, illuminating the city below you, you see the streets now starting to slowly fill and shift, almost like an anthill moving out the front gates, not the ones leading toward Morlock, but leading toward Dristan. And you see, standing on top of the gatehouse, leading outward, this giant, torn up, wings and mast, leathery figure on the gatehouse, as what you would imagine is what remains of the host of Morlock to begin to move out.
Oh.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
Did Art just invite an invasion to
Yes,
Drisden?
you did.
Did you not pick up on the signs the entire time?
Oh, no, I was afraid of it. I was like, please tell me that's not what I'm doing. Please tell me that's not what I'm doing. And I was like,
That's
yeah,
what
sure.
you're
So
doing.
in character.
I was like, don't tell him.
good.
Don't tell him
I
where
I
I
was like,
live.
oh, sweetheart. I was like, thank you.
Don't tell him where I live.
Yep.
I had to mute
Yep.
myself. I had to mute. I just was. I was in here like just cussing to myself.
Yep.
Very good.
I was sitting here like, all he needed was aware. All he needed was aware.
So good though.
Yep.
Me
I had a
That's
sinking
good.
suspicion the entire time of like, nope, we're gonna
I'm
keep
so-
talking.
I'm so excited about this.
It's
So we're
no.
gonna need to have a really long chat this over this month interim to feel
Yeah, I was
feel
gonna
out
say,
how we're gonna do this.
how much
I
of
have enough.
that shelf are we gonna use?
yeah.
It's so what I'm gonna say is it's not. I don't think this is about quantity. It's about quality. That's what I will say.
It better not be about quantity. There's one more.
Which
We
on
only
that-
have to cut the head of the snake off, not fight the whole fucking
Yeah.
army.
They're more like an
I think
octopus.
that's
on that note, do we level yet? No.
You do. You guys do
This
get
one?
level 5.
Yes. Okay, thank
You
you.
guys do get
look
level
how
5.
gnarly.
Oh yeah, you guys will 100% need level 5 for this. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
hoping you
boy.
guys were gonna storm the chamber, man.
That's what I wanted to do. I rolled a 4, and I was called odds, and that was it.
You guys still have time.
This is twice now that I've denied you a
there
fight, Bianco. I'm so sorry.
There are
Next time it's
there are moving. There are a lot, what I will say is there are a lot of moving pieces, and you guys, from what you understand, or at least what Art explained to you, have until nightfall to truly figure out what you want to do. And it's only a couple hours past dawn in the middle of spring. So sun's in your favor.
So it's a lot of
Mostly.
daylight.
Yeah. And you guys also have a month
boy.
off. You guys also have a month between now and then to figure out what you'd like to do. Thank you all for watching. You can tune in. The next game, I believe, is December 11th, is the second Friday of December. We are not going to be able to play in 2 weeks because it's Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and some of us are going to social distancing travel to see family and stuff. So thank you all for joining. Look forward to our finale in a month, and happy adventuring.
All right, guys.
All right.
We're gonna go ahead and raid
Bye.
the role players. So go ahead and spread the Kantor and Fable 42 love. If you like what you
Oh, with
see,
the
give them a
steam.
follow. But we will see
Bye,
you guys
guys.
next time.
I am
Bye,
on
guys.